Hello, welcome in. My name is Karsh Goblin, and this is GoblinCaveTV. And hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
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 Hey!
Welcome in. This is our 23rd episode today. It's been a couple of weeks we have had off due to other bits and pieces that are going on, and hopefully been enjoying our Starfinder game instead, Smuggler's Run. We've got most of the same people here, with the inclusion of Polly as well. But Lorian's back, and we have another dark and morality-laden saga of saints and sinners. No? Maybe not. Okay. So the audio you're hearing in the background is always Syrinscape, because Syrinscape is amazing. So check out Syrinscape.com for all your online, offline role-playing needs, and board game too. And you can always help out the channel by donating, and if you donate to the channel, you nominate a person, and that person can get bonuses and bits and pieces. It does scale up. If they don't use it, it can go to the GM to be used against us. But Lorian's a nice GM, and he's been like not doing that, but that was when I was like kitten gloves early on. So I don't know how it's going to work now.
We'll see. We'll see.
You always push for us to die. I don't know why. Always pushing.
It's not me pushing now. It's just a reality that we're all going to die.
One day Lorian's just gonna say, "Okay, fine. Warwick's dead."
Rock's full work. What Rock's full work dies.
I think that's what happened with the Fighter and Friends. My character got just like, yep, no, you're the one that's going. Okay, but he totally deserved it. Not like Rorik. Rorik doesn't deserve it. No.
No. You don't want to roll a new character.
If you think Rorik's bad, I will take that character, the Goblin, and bring it to this one, and then you'll have bad. Then you'll be wanting to bash up the Goblin quite a lot.
And on that note,
bigger
everybody.
troublemaker. Anyway, hi. Amy, would you like to do your introduction?
Hi, I'm Emmy Robert, but you guys can call me Emmy. I play Ava, the human monk, and today we're doing things I don't know. I can't remember what we were doing last time because I didn't take notes for some reason. So that's
The designated note taker didn't take notes. That's always a good sign. That just proves I'm running a really engaging combat scenario. So
Yeah, so
I'm happy about that.
So yeah, it was full on combat. That's about the biggest note taking.
I will say in previous campaigns I've always played low intelligence characters, and I've used that to justify my incredibly poor note taking. I'm playing a 4-year campaign which is just coming to a close now. We're in the last 2 or so sessions.
Ooh.
And then the next campaign afterwards I'm playing an artificer, so I no longer have an
yeah.
Yeah. I use the excuse that I'm doing all the production side, so I can't do it. No. MLP. Perfect timing.
Hello, I'm Mr. Producer. I will be playing your Dwarven Barbarian Ranger, I think is at the moment. Yes, actually, you have to start saying that now. Dwarven Barbarian Ranger. A very, very weird combo. Burlock
ranger.
I'm a Ranger. All right, moving on.
Beranger.
Ranger. Oh God, we are not trying to do this. Anyway,
Barbarian.
Barbarian. I think
Barbarian.
Barbarian.
Barbarian. Burlock Ungard, and yeah. The last episode was fun. We got an upgrade of our car.
We trashed a car,
We didn't trash a car.
and then Sean's paid for the upgraded model.
Yeah, fair enough.
Del.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Del. I've been playing Reservoir, your water genasi sorcerer, who's pretending to be a wizard, which might become a problem because, as I remember, I think we ended the last session at a actual wizard's tower.
We're heading towards one. That's the plan.
Or at least we saw it. and a bunch of not friendly people on, I believe it was one side of the Blood War. I don't remember which. So yeah, that'll be exciting.
Always is. Will?
Hey everybody, my name is Will. I've been playing Ash the Fire Genasi Artificer, and it's been a lot of fun. I wasn't here. What was that? I wasn't here last month. So it was so it's gonna be a lot of fun today. I'm sad I missed the combat session, but I've heard we've got a new upgrade to our car. So now we have it's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a long time since you played Saints and Sinners. Jeez.
I know, I miss it. Yeah. We upgraded from our 4-door to an 8-door sedan, which sounds really good. I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
It's even got cargo capacity, and if there's any bumps in the road or if there's any like cars parked in front of us, you just keep going, and it gets eaten up and thrown out the back. It's a nasty piece of work. Hi, my name is Carl Goblin. I'm playing Warlock, the disgruntled paladin.
Warlock.
So Warwick, the disgruntled paladin. Sorry about that.
Trojan slip.
Oh no. So there is a second class in there. I just haven't updated the overlay, but he's essentially an old soldier who has given up. And Paladin's also maybe one of the things he's given up, but who knows? He's still just hanging on by a few threads. Or one. Or none. Who knows? So yeah, let's turn it over to Lauren Ross to...
Right. I am Lorian Ross. I will be your GM for tonight. Preemptively, I will say my internet connection is being really choppy right now. So I kindly ask for your patience and the audience's patience if I freeze halfway through a sentence or if I mishear something and have to ask you to repeat it. It is wholly out of my control. But we'll press on regardless. So, if we're all ready, shall we dive back into the 23rd episode of Saints and Sinners?
Woo! Let's do it.
When last we left the party, Ash the Genasi Artificer, Ava the Human Monk, Bullock the Dwarf Barbarian Ranger, Reservoir the Genasi Sorcerer, and Work the Human Paladin / Fighter. The party received a vision, peering through the mind and dreams of a companion they had found in Lulu, with the help of a strange crone-like figure who goes by the name of Mad Maggie. Peering through this vision, you caught glimpses of battles, of angels falling, a particular angel falling, and signing herself away to an archfiend of immense power. In particular, you saw surrounding her 3 figures, a deposed pit fiend who had brought her in and been thus cast aside, deposed and replaced as commander. You had seen 2 paladins, one who had signed himself away as well and had twisted into a form of fire and blackened armor, and a final one who would rather die than betray his virtue, and did just that, killing himself in a virtuous and heroic death to avoid subservience to an evil power, but was then subsequently raised from the dead as an undead warrior in the service of the angel. With this scant and lead to go on, and the knowledge from Lulu and the vision Ava had about a sword that had been buried somewhere on the Avernus Plains, a sword that might hold the key to salvation for the city of Elturel. The party ventured out on a newly acquired infernal war machine, a hulking steel monstrosity with bladed wheels which tore through the Avernus landscape. They traveled for many days in blighted wilderness, coming across sandstorms and colossal moving fortresses which they barely escaped the notice of, before finding themselves in a high-speed pursuit across the blighted landscape with a strange pact of weird were beasts, half boar, half rat creatures. After a lengthy chase, the party laid these enemies low. Their new machine was utterly trashed through the gaping mechanical maw of a larger war machine. After a quick interrogation and a quick acquiescence of an upgrade to their mechanical methods of movement, the party found their way to the first potential lead which they had been sent off. A potential diviner, someone who might be able to peer through the veil and uncover some more secrets about what might lie in store and where they should go next. You arrive now, rolling up in your machines to a strange sight on the Avernus landscape. You come and you see a lake of what looks to be almost like blood, a viscous red liquid bubbling in the heat on the banks of some river. Rising on a small island in the middle of this lake is a obsidian black tower with no doors or windows reaching into the sky, two prongs reaching up a peak with red lightning crackling between them. And off, higher up in the distance, almost touching the clouds above, you see a floating island. Just the underside, a crag of rock reaching downwards, mostly out of sight. As you pull up in your new crushing war machine, you catch the attention of several strange figures waiting on the banks of the river next to a small steel black iron bridge which leads to the tower. A group of quite familiar looking bugler, ones that you had previously fought in the service of one Gideon Lightwood, all clutching tridents and with chitinous black armor. You see them all kind of catch your attention, then go back to waiting and looking at the tower. Amongst them, you also see large ogre-like creatures with green skin, spines running down the back, pudgy faces, and small, almost vestigial wings in the back. They stand watching the tower, clutching large battle axes. They see you approach, and you pull in. Park your vehicle, and now you see before you. The water, or whatever strange liquid resides, laps against the shores of the red rock, and the blistering wind never ceases. But despite your strange and oddly impressive arrival in this large machine, the residents who are waiting outside seem to only give you a moment's notice before turning their attention back to the tower.
So I guess there's a queue?
What are they waiting for?
Now remember where we parked. The hell
I've-
parking lot.
I
remember.
in the hell parking lot? Or so the demon or the devil's parking lot? Which one is it?
It'll be here when we get back. I'm sure that the people here are not trying to drive off with our thing, but we should just take the keys just in case, obviously.
Sure, it's perfectly a perfectly reputable neighborhood.
Oh, of course. Exactly.
Yeah. Does it have keys that we can take just in case?
It does not. No. You recall that this machine is powered by inserting the coins, the soul coins, into its chassis. And there seems to be no other method of propulsion, no keys to turn.
Are you able to disable it quickly? Pull a plug somewhere?
I don't think these people are going to be stealing it.
Can we lock it somehow?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Oh well, it is what it is.
Mine, don't steal. Push them on it.
We've got to get
Please.
some paint though. I think we should paint it up.
Oh, we should put like
Reserv-
flames on it.
I was thinking angels and like rainbows and stuff, just to piss off the residents. No?
Ava, in this place, if you say put flames, it'll be literal flames.
Yeah.
Anyway, what
Reservoir.
are we waiting for?
It's about this time you notice your familiar's gone. And you can't help but get the sinking feeling that during the crashing and tumbling, intense vehicle chase, you think she might have poofed at some point.
I mean, I normally don't have him around.
Hmm?
He's normally off in his like pocket dimension.
Oh, okay. I thought he kind of keeps himself up inside your robes.
No, well, especially since, you know, we descended into Avernus. He prefers being in water.
In that
I don't have like a fishbowl
case,
for him.
absolutely. That was just me.
Okay.
That was just me misunderstanding where he likes to reside. In that case, you're pretty confident that had he been on your person during the car crash, he probably would no longer be.
Yeah, I mean,
Lucky for that pocket.
there are a lot of times that he could have died around me. It's a bad idea to keep pets in D&D. Just as a general rule. They tend to die very easily.
Well, not fortunately. You can bring this one back if that were to happen.
Yeah, it would cost some money though, which I have no idea where to find here. So this water river, maybe blood, does it seem to be the same liquid that was in the river below Elturel when we came down from the city?
You didn't get a close enough look. You were kind of busy running for your life. And also being unconscious when you were set upon by about a dozen spine devils.
That is fair.
But make a perception or insight check.
All right. Well, I can do that. Yeah. Another thing I can do is I can shape water.
Okay.
If that doesn't work, then I know it's not.
Yeah, you take a closer look, kind of leave your vehicle by the edge of the water, just so it can only be accessed from one side. You think that if there's anywhere that's been more secure, that would probably be it. And you kind of crouch down and look, and you kind of wave your hand, and the water does move, and you do know it to be water by that movement. But inside, with the natural 20, you peer down and you see faint, ethereal, almost like faces drifting in and out of the water. And you hear whispers. You're pretty sure, from what you know, that this is almost certainly part of the River Styx.
I kind of just jump back.
I don't think it's a good place to swim.
Stop messing with
You
that
turn out
water.
like Achilles. We'll hold you by your heel.
Looks just as bad as regular water, so
It
dip your feet in.
is significantly worse than regular water.
Yeah, by a bit.
By quite a lot.
I mean, at least this water's red, so that's a plus in my book.
But is water supposed to be red?
No, it's not. There are ways to magically make it change color, but nothing on this scale and with this permanence that's any good
I mean,
that I know of, at least.
I don't know about you guys, but all the water I've seen has been like blue. So
From my memory, if there's a river near a battlefield, then it gets a little bit red afterwards. But
that's not the water.
well, the water
And
gets red
that's-
afterwards, but that's not from the. Yeah, we know what it's from.
Yeah, and that's not good either.
Well, I
Generally,
don't
the
drink from
best
it.
water you can get is nice and clear.
Right. Does that mean that Ash likes to drink red water?
No,
Ash,
most
are you a vampire?
most water I drink is usually very. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's brown, sometimes it has a very distinctive taste. Sometimes I take it on the rocks. Sometimes it's good.
You realize that water on the rocks would just be water with frozen water.
It's better to consume it solid than it is to consume it wet. In any case, that's just a small thing of my preference. It's fine, whatever. What are we doing here in the first place? Did you want to talk to your friend up there? Pointing to the tower. We're supposed to be here to find something, right?
I don't think all wizards know each other.
Oh, I thought there was a special wizards club that all of you got a membership to. Did I misunderstand that?
You did.
Remind me again, why were we coming to the Wizard's Tower?
Well, occasionally wizards can be powerful diviners. He might have a way of seeing where it is this underground place is with the sword.
So the sword was stolen and was hidden. The sword was stolen by Lulu, and look over to the flying elephant, and then hidden and buried, and then like temple was built upon that burial thing or something. That's what we're trying to
No.
locate.
I think it was hidden and then the temple was there and then it was buried.
Well,
Could be.
Well, what happened was the temple was made and the person who had it was buried with the temple. So
One of those. Dreams are weird.
it was.
And back to
Still
the wizards
hoping
thing.
to find that.
Back to the wizards thing. I think it's like the cabals are like each school. So if you're all trained in one school, one temple or tower or whatever, they all know each other. But if you're told in different towers, then you don't know each other. I think that might be it.
That's also not how that works.
Are you sure?
I think I would know.
Okay, I just thought that was the way it worked.
I mean, most wizards I've met, they've always been shrewd businessmen, so we just got to be ready to negotiate again once more. They love favors. They don't like gold. They like books and knowledge and yada, yada, yada. They like to read. So if anyone has anything good to read, it's like that one. It's like entering the city like before.
Oh,
Do you have
I
any
didn't-
books? Do you have any more books, soldier? Ones that you...
I think I'm out. I do have the troll doll.
I
Maybe
don't
he
think
likes
that's-
that.
Maybe
I
we
think it's
could
a book.
like bargain knowledge.
We're not the smartest.
Well,
Speak
how
for
long-
yourself.
How long has this wizard been down here?
He
Well,
comes and goes.
Well, let's see what he
Yes.
wants first. Then we can decide from there.
Yeah, I think we're going to be trying to find ingredients of something really, really dangerous if we're going to be doing anything.
As you're having this conversation, you start to hear a murmur from the group of gathered fiends, and you see they kind of all look to the tower and start murmuring, and you see on the tower a door appear at the base, just almost outlined in glowing blue light, and suddenly it just fades to leave a hole, an opening at the base of this tower. And stepping through, you see a strange figure that you might not have expected to see. wearing long, flowing purple robes. You see a humanoid figure with the head of a jackal, carrying a strange sheet of parchment, a quill, and two very thick, round glasses. And this individual just steps out of the tower, and the door shuts behind them, and they start to walk off across the bridge towards the crowd of gathered fiends.
Not the weirdest wizard we've met.
Why do these wizards like to turn themselves to... Oh, yeah, wizards do like to turn themselves to other things, don't they?
Let's just go say hi.
I think they might be wanting to. Anyway, I think they're coming towards us or towards the crowd.
I mean, we should just observe. I mean, observing is the best thing, obviously. If they can make a home down here, we're not any match for them. So let's just wait and observe and see what they do, yeah?
Could drive through them.
No, I think these
Oh,
people
not the wizards, the others.
We're on friendly terms. Are we near the front at all?
You're quite near the back, actually. Just because you've kind of not... You're not really unless you've been particularly bold, you're not really comfortable pushing through this crowd of fiends. So I'm guessing you stayed back.
They don't seem to be like fighting or anything.
And now this individual step forward and just start to address each fiend individually. Just you ask perhaps a question and write something down, and then go on to the next one. Ask, write something down.
Okay. Well,
Great.
Have we got an invite?
Stand by
Surveys.
Are you telling me this? I mean, obviously, maybe this person isn't even the wizard. Maybe this person is just an assistant of some kind. They usually have some animals doing their bidding, so maybe this person is just a what's the word?
Obviously an animal.
We're not gonna make assumptions before we meet them. I'm gonna like stand by the thing to like be ready to like say hi.
Totally want to make assumptions.
Did we park our car near here, or is it far away?
You've kept it within eyesight.
Okay. Just checking.
I think we wait patiently, impatiently.
This jackal-like individual way through the crowd before they take notice and start to approach your group, who is Ristaya.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you speak infernal common tongue?
Common would be best.
Common, right. Name?
I'm
Your
Ava.
name? Ava.
Yes.
Are you representing the group, or do each individual have names, or do you have a name of the group?
We're a group?
We don't have a group name, sir.
I'll just put Ava.
Yeah.
And purpose for visiting the Archmage Mordenkainen?
We were looking for something and need some divination.
Yeah. Divination. And offerings?
Offerings?
By the look on your face, I'm guessing you don't have any offerings. That's fine. We can sort that out later.
We're a bit new to the area.
Be patient. There's quite a queue in front of you. As you may see, the wizard will be seeing you shortly. And she turns on her heel and starts to move off.
I thank you.
I told you it was just an assistant.
Walks across the bridge, and the door materializes. The hole appears in the steel. She walks through before it closes again. And you wait.
And want a game.
Am I right? Am I breaking up?
You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
You wait there for quite a while.
Anyone
as
game Dragon Chess?
individually you see these fiends, these Mesoloths, start to proceed across the bridge one by one, enter the tower, and then come out. Enter the tower and come out.
I'll play Dragon Chess if you teach me.
I can teach you the rules. I'm not very good myself. It's been too long since I've used to play, but we play out Dragon Chess and just.
I think I played it, or like, I've seen people play it once, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not as common as just playing cards in a tavern or dice. Less
Old
gambling
man's
involved.
game. Old man's game.
It's got a little bit more strategy to it.
Yeah, it's very much so.
Do notice, you will have noticed over the hour, one of the larger green-skinned battle axe wielding fiends is keeping a close eye on you. Just occasionally, just kind of like looking in your direction, looking away.
I'll do the
Keeping
whole
a
wave.
close eye in
Yeah.
return.
Bill,
Like, hey, what are you doing here to see the wizard for?
Need to know, and you don't need to know.
Okay.
So you need to know something. Okay, gotcha. Wizards are smart. They have
Yeah.
pointy hats to encompass all that brain power.
Shut your mouth.
Actually met a wizard, Warwick.
We met
Of course
one that
we've met
was-
wizards. You're a wizard.
Yeah, we met a wizard.
I'm not wearing a pointy hat.
I know, it's a bit weird.
Well, technically, the
It's
last wizard we met
really-
wasn't wearing a pointy hat either.
True, but he was an animal.
Yeah, he was. Was it an otter?
Yeah. It's a bit hard. He may need to actually strap the pony hat on.
We will have to make him a tiny pointy hat.
That would be so cute.
You really don't.
I'm sure I saw a few hats in his giant stash of things. He doesn't need more hats.
Yeah,
Pretty
but were
sure
they,
he has
were
at
they
least one.
otter size?
Mm.
They seem to be regular size hats. I mean, who makes hats for otters?
Could I
Wizards.
get?
I'm sure we
Could I get everyone to make a perception advantage?
with advantage or disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Thank you.
Perfect. I'm already on
You
that.
broke up with the disc, but yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow, I just looked at some high numbers there.
That's...
Okay. So after a while, Ava, you hear in your mind, Ava, to the tower, please. Ava, to the tower.
Oh, guys, it's our turn.
Hey,
Finally.
quickly pack up and put the chest back.
Yeah. Glance at the war machine and hope it's still there when we get back.
Let's go up to this creepy tower.
All right. You cross over the bridge. The five of you. Lulu just behind in tow. You walk in, and the door opens. You go on through. Before behind you, it closes. The first thing that strikes you when you enter this room is the change in temperature. You had become so accustomed to the stifling heat of the intense Avernus Plain. It's like walking into an air-conditioned room. Just the sudden cool washes over you, and it is such a relief. Just instant comfort of a relief from the intense heat that you didn't even realize you had gotten used to. You see, in a perfectly circular room, the walls seem illusory. That means that you instantly recognize. Around you, not the blackened steel that the exterior of this building would suggest, but instead what looks to be a forest, clearly tainted by some illusory magic, because that's the only thing that would make sense to you. But you wander in, and the sound from outside dims, and you see seated in a very large armchair a human man wearing long flowing robes, a bald head, a small pointed goatee, and mustache. He sits with a table with a few sets of some sort of tea set to the side, which he occasionally sips from. He has a notepad to the side, and the jackal-headed figure sits behind him, taking notes. Please approach. Have a seat. Ah, it is not very often I see humanoids of the down here in the hells. You are a very long way from home, I see.
Yes.
Just real quick, like out of character, just like looking at the forest and stuff, because Ava is really well traveled. Would I be able to tell roughly where this might be from?
I would say probably not. No.
Yeah.
It's kind of cedar-like trees, which is trees of the forest in and around Waterdeep.
Yeah.
But beyond that, as in terms of specific location, it's forest.
Yeah.
Please seat yourselves. I trust by now you may know who I am.
I have some idea.
More than kind, and a pleasure to meet you. So, what brings you to my tower this fine day?
We're looking for something.
Indeed.
We're looking for something that was buried in a tower, and we're looking for the tower.
Well, no, it's a temple.
In the temple.
Temple.
I can just imagine this whole conversation actually playing in front of them. Like, it's house, it's temple, it's temple.
Yeah.
I think perhaps it might be beneficial to go back a little bit. You say you don't see a lot of humanoids here. Well,
no.
We're here specifically because of what's happened to Elturel.
Elturel? Yes, I am aware of the city. It is a shame, but I suppose all in the purpose of balance.
We're here to save it.
Yes.
Are you now? Well, that is very bold of you.
Some might say stupid, but...
Perhaps.
But we prefer bold.
It is stupid.
Is it the line between the two is often thin, as some people might think. No, tell me, fascinating. How, might I ask, do you plan on saving the city?
It's a work in progress.
There's two current theories I think we're working on. One is trying to turn off the companion. And the other is, well, the tower, also the temple with the buried object underneath it.
As you're saying all this, the jackal creature is jotting things down at a very rapid pace.
I actually had a vision of it. There was a fight and a temple was formed. This warrior, she had a sword. But it was all buried, almost eaten by Avernus itself.
I've heard of things like this. I know what you seek, and I know it is very difficult to find. Myself, I've been unable to locate this temple. It has eluded me for the length of time I've been visiting here.
How long is that, if I might ask?
My attention was not always on this. I spent a great deal of time researching the Blood War and the never-ending struggle between forces of law and chaos. I published a tome on it not a few years back.
Have a
But
copy
regardless,
around that we can have a peruse. It is really relevant to our current situation. Please.
I don't keep copies here.
Wow.
Why would I have need of my own material? And it's all stored up here. I'm sure if you find your way back to the material plane, you might be able to come across it. It goes by the name Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Deals with dealings of the Blood War, Drow, other things such as that.
Maybe Candlekeep has a copy.
Perhaps. That would be a place to look, if any. But no, we're getting off topic. You say you're looking for this temple.
Yes.
Yeah.
I cannot help you on this matter. The temple has eluded for many individuals who would seek to plunder its depths. The artifact, I believe, is contained within is one of great power. And the Lulu says,
The sword. It was Zariel's sword.
No one said that. I didn't
strange
say
company.
that.
Although, who am I to judge?
We didn't mention who it was.
How could such a place elude you?
If I knew, do you reckon it would be as elusive as I say? Besides, let's say my interests lie predominantly elsewhere. An artifact is an interesting thing for sure, but it is far from the most interesting thing down here.
And what, pray tell, is the most interesting thing down here, apart from rivers of blood?
He
Misery.
waves
Technically, it's water.
He waves his hand, and you see flickering into life an illusion of the island you saw floating in the skies before it vanishes.
To be fair, that is interesting.
You don't know the half of it.
Maybe is the fact that I've seen this sword, at least in a vision, would that help in like some kind of like ritual? I'm not very good with magic.
Perhaps.
And Lulu knows it
Lulu's actually been
fairly
there.
well, yes.
Well, but if I can't remember, and if it's difficult to find, I think I might know someone who might know where to find it. I keep thinking of the division, Zariel's right-hand men. If we could perhaps, they might know.
Are they all evil though?
That might be a problem, but I don't know. Maybe it can be reasoned with.
And if they knew, wouldn't they take it back?
I don't know.
Either way, we're intruding on Mordenkainen's time
Yes.
here.
Sorry, sir.
How can we help? How can we help you at the moment? How can you help?
If
How
you
can we
wish-
help you to help us?
I am looking for a particular substance. If you were to fetch this substance for me, we could perhaps earn more of my time, shall we say.
We can fetch some goo. Wait,
Not
maybe.
just any goo. I'm looking for blood. Blood of a powerful creature.
It always have to be blood.
What kind of powerful
Unfortunately.
creature?
The type is unspecific. It is the power within the blood, the magical properties of a blood. That is what interests me. I'm talking, perhaps the minimum level would be Pit Fiend or Baylor. Anything of that level or stronger.
And how much do you need?
Not a lot, a vial.
So you're telling us to go hunting for you to retrieve some specimen. In
Indeed I am.
exchange, we will find. You will give us
Some time.
elephant. What are we? We're trying to find the sword, but you don't know where it is, and he can't find it. That person? Can you find a person for us instead, then?
Yes,
You
I
can-
should think that will be no issue.
Can you switch off
Individuals
the-
are easy to locate. I think that particular location is barricaded by some warding magic. Individuals, generals of the blood war, not so much. I have found them before when writing for my book, so doing it again should pose no problem.
Can you turn off the companion?
Even if I could, why would I be so inclined?
Because
The
we
demons
asked
are
you
winning
really
at the
politely?
the demons are winning at the moment. They have pushed the front lines to this plane. Maybe the devils do need reinforcements or balance. But that
there's-
is your prerogative and not mine.
You want to perpetuate the fighting?
No, he wants to push the demons. Wants to
Of
push
course.
them back.
My dear, the perpetuation of the blood war is of utmost importance. For if one side prevails, what do you think? They'll just sit back and congratulate themselves? No.
Keeps
If
them
the
both
devils
occupied.
win, they will continue to conquer and enforce their tyranny across the multiverse. Worse, win, they will devour everything. The blood war is of utmost importance to prevent either of those. It is a very fine equilibrium, a very fine balance, upon which the fate of creation hangs. So yes, it is very important that the blood war continue indefinitely, in perpetuity, you might say. It is one of the very cornerstones of our existence.
Can we
Why do you think I
change it?
did?
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I am done. You have my terms. You have my offer. Fetch me the blood, and I shall find for you these individuals.
So
But I
can we
believe-
so if we get this, can we just just walk back here, or do we have to wait back in the line again, the queue?
I'm sure there would be a queue, but an hour or two wait is not too bad. I'm sure you are patient individuals.
What more would you ask
Do you know
for
where?
information about turning off the companion?
Turning off the companion. I suppose it could be done by a very powerful individual. Powerful as in Archduke herself? Or maybe, I don't know. Divine magic is, I am more of the arcane persuasion, and divine magics is not my area of expertise.
What about spells?
Spells? I know a great many spells. I've invented a great many spells.
What would you ask for access to some of them?
Well, depends on what kind of spells. There are beginner level entry stuff that I'm sure you're well aware of. There are rarer spells from distant corners of the multiverse that tamper with space and time itself.
As you've mentioned, we're humanoids and we're rather rare here. It's dangerous to rest at night. I've heard of spells that can create somewhat of a protective area.
I know what you speak of. The Magnificent Mansion spell. It is one of my finer creations. That is quite powerful magic, though.
A mansion?
I was thinking of something a little smaller.
I see.
I don't believe it's of your creation.
Are you entirely sure you're fit to be wandering around down here?
Well,
If
some of us,
you are as limited as you say.
some of us don't have a choice. Some of us came down because we're following this crazy person.
I'm with them.
I have
I
regrets.
was pulled down with the city.
We have reasons.
Very well.
Not great reasons, but we're here.
Can you point us in the direction of one of these fiends that you want us to hunt? You know, give us a general.
We got a map.
At
Our
least
map seems dated.
Point
Yeah.
the right way. And we'll kind of.
Yeah.
You do realize you have your own map, by the way.
Yeah,
Which
Yeah.
every
doesn't
time we've
work.
gone to the map, it's been absolutely incorrect. Like, everything's changed around.
Yeah.
Can we actually hold up the map to Mordecai and says, "We've got a map. We just point."
Pass that to me.
Passes the
You
map
hand it.
over.
He kind of gives it a once over, starts looking around. I do not envy the cartographer who took it on himself to make this.
He went insane, apparently.
That does not surprise me. Although this has some curious properties. I get the sense that if you could perhaps keep one of these locations in your mind's eye, you might just find yourself there by chance. Maybe not. Hard to say. As you may well know, space works differently down here.
I mean, we've
Part
got-
of what I'm studying.
So he's saying if we focus on location and just drive where we think is that location, it may just end it at that location.
I mean, we've been pretty lucky with finding places so far.
Was
I-
thinking about the place you need to go to.
You're telling us it's just the power of belief that will let us get there.
You're sounding like a priest.
You're
You
sounding
could
like
be
a
more
priest.
optimistic.
I think it makes perfect sense.
The outer planes work in mysterious ways. You do realize that these planes are centered around faith, belief, and the like.
Oh, really?
It is true. Why should this place be any different than Mount Celestia or the plains of Elysium? They're all the same, outer planes, upper and lower. Metaphysical.
So if we start a cult of niceness, we could change this place to niceness.
And we named the place what?
I think not. I think not. Unless your cult finds a way to overpower Asmodeus himself.
Well, you can add that to the checklist if you want, soldier, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. All right. So we go get this blood for you.
Regardless, I have more clients to see. Yishtara, if you would kindly escort
Sorry.
Thank you for your time.
from the premises.
One more thing. She was asking, pointing to Razor, she was asking for a spell. Can you give it to her or not?
Ah,
If it helps out of character, the spell that I was looking at was Leoman's Tiny Hut
oh,
uh,
right.
as a ritual.
Leomund.
I can add
I have
it.
not seen him in generations. No. Oh, yes. Make me an offer.
What could you use?
Have you had snake before?
I start going through my bag real quick. I have this creepy skull book.
Skull book?
You know what? I pity you. You're clearly entirely out of your depth. So go on.
Thank you.
Yshtara, a scroll of Leomund's ties.
Yes, yes, sir.
And the creature scurries off and momentarily returns with a scroll.
Here you are.
I'm gonna tuck it in my book to copy.
By the by, you are a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
Have you taken the ritual caster feat?
Yes, that's how I have my familiar, and that's how
Excellent.
I can identify.
Cool.
Is the
Just
ritual
making
caster.
sure. Just making sure. Because I didn't want to be like.
Why would you
I was
take
just-
this?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I mean, I still need to find things to transfer them in, though. I do have some initial from a wizard have more power than myself. I have some of her studies. She was working on some spells. Well, I
Indeed.
would like to keep them for myself if I could trade them for the materials I'll need to copy this into my book.
Shouldn't be a problem. Yshtara,
Yeah, yes, sir. If you please.
I will hand over my mentor's all of her stuff, and I will remove that.
She takes it
from
and-
the thing.
and her eyes start to glow, and the pages.
Thank you. Yep, I should be able to recreate those, so not a problem. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
keep them. That is nice.
I'm just gonna cry and
That
get
makes
rid of that.
It makes me feel less like I want to cry. Now I'm very happy. Okay.
And
Is it? Yes, please provide what she has requested.
right away, sir.
Comes back.
Here you are. Good luck.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again here sometime.
Yshtara, next guest, please.
Yes, sorry, sir.
Thank
Right.
you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Pleasure. And I do hope to see you alive again, for what it's worth.
We'll try our
Good
best.
day. Good
I'm sure
day.
you will.
Bye.
And the door opens to the plains outside.
Well,
That
that could
wasn't
have
better than
gone
expected.
worse.
I think the fact that we're just so inept actually goes in our favor sometimes.
It's how people perceive you sometimes. Sometimes, if you look so pitiful, you throw a couple of coins.
Okay.
He was nice. I mean,
He
it's
was.
nice to see.
Can I
another
roll perception to see if our
humanoid.
vehicle's still there?
A perception check.
I just
Have
remember
we
car
been
getting
robbed?
jacked.
Wow, the 12,000-pound vehicle is gone.
Off to wondering
It's still there.
Yay.
Aw.
It's up on cinder blocks. The wheels are gone.
the train
All the
test
teeth in
on.
the grinder have been ground down. They're all just all broken off.
Big giant
It's all
red nose at the
gummy.
front of it.
So he mentioned that when we were in there, he mentioned that the demons were currently winning.
Mm.
Are the fiends that we see around here mostly demons?
Make a religion check.
That's a good point.
You're not sure.
Can I do the same check and have a
Yep. If anyone who wants to can make a religion check.
just yeah. Oops, sorry, I'm still on disadvantage.
Walking straight to the car.
23. Warwick, you would know. These are demons. These are not devils either. These are all Yugoloths.
Oh, the third party. That's right.
Which are the... And now that you think about it, oh, that was no mere animal creature. That jackal individual, that was an Arcanoloth. Which is something else entirely. And for an Arcanoloth to be in service to this Archmage, must be a very powerful Archmage.
So he makes his own spells. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, Reservoir makes her own spells, but I don't think turning yourself into a pot plant is beneficial.
We
We
don't know
don't have
that
anything
in-
named after me.
We don't know that in character.
Mm.
The only person saw that was Ash.
It was. I
And
mean,
Lulu.
Don't think Lulu will be saying that out.
No, the Holly Fawn is nicer to me.
As you cross the bridge, the doorway, you kind of return to your vehicle, and as you start to get on, the door opens, and out steps the Arcanoloth, and
The Archmage Mordenkainen will be seeing no more guests today. Thank you all. Good day.
steps back inside, and you see the tower start to crackle with energy, and it starts to vibrate with this intense growing rise of energy. The electricity on top crackles and sparks, and suddenly there's this powerful surge of almost like a sucking vacuum effect, and in a blink the tower is gone. The entire thing vanished, leaving behind a platform where it once stood. And the other sort of, you see a few fiends gather just like, oh, I waited here for hours just for them fucking up. And they start to storm off.
I guess we're all very pitiful and lucky then.
always so flashy. Fucking wizards, man.
And no pointy hat.
Yeah.
Sometimes the pointy hat has to be in the mind.
Ah, so that an
It's a
illusion
metaphysical pointy hat.
or an invisible pointy hat. That's why they don't always wear them. It could be invisible.
And this is Bill actually in Carrigan.
Yes, again, like the frogs. Let's go hunting one more time for this thing.
So, Pit
Sorry, I'm having some technical
Fiend.
difficulties.
You are?
I'm having some technical difficulties.
Oh,
You're
no.
seeing some weird stuff on the overlay.
You want to go to break?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
So, Pit Fiend or someone of that caliber of evilness. And we have to get the person's blood to get the stuff to do all the stuff. So let's go into the car. God, it's freaking hot. And figure out what we need to do.
It's actually a bit nice out here. I kind of like the seat.
We should have asked him for some water.
Well,
alcohol.
can fix the water once we
Can you
rest.
fix the alcohol?
I'm not an alcohol genasi. They do not exist, as far as I'm aware.
That'd be kind of cool.
But in terms of the heat, once I copy this spell into my book, I should be able to cast it well enough, and it should take care of that for a period of time. It's quite a nice spell. It creates a little dome. It's relatively safe, temperate. It'll be a good place to rest without having to worry so much about being attacked by one of the many threats that come with being in the hells.
That'll be good.
Either way, current game plan: find big bad thing to kill it, drain blood, get back here, wait,
That's a good plan.
wait more.
Call.
I would know. I'm talking this as we're going to the car.
I don't know. If we only need a vial, we may be able to bargain for it.
Trading one favor for another, for a favor for a favor. We don't know how far that rabbit hole goes. And considering where we are right now, do you really want to be in debt to any of these?
I mean, the bigger
things?
question is,
That's
what
fair.
is a pit fiend? Well, the bigger thing is, how lethal is a pit fiend? I've never fought. Wait, we saw those, didn't we?
They're big.
Yeah.
Not friendly.
Is Pit Fiend a fiend? Oh, it's even the name.
I would
yeah,
hope.
Bullock, you may make a religion check with advantage.
Thank you.
Because your favorite enemy.
As I was gonna say, it says Pit Fiend in the title. I'm just not sure if it actually is a fiend
I would
type.
It's actually a celestial.
If it was a demon and called a pit fiend, they'd just be pissed off the entire.
That'd be
Actually, no, they're
funny.
always pissed off demons. So
Yeah.
How, how does a pit fiend compare to the things we've been fighting so far? Is the bigger question.
Oh.
You know that
16.
Okay, so you know our bike. And you know our new vehicle.
Sure.
So half the size of the bike, and kind of like use your legs to make it move, and then quadruple the size of our vehicle. That's about a comparison.
Yeah, with a 16. 16, you're not sure. 16, you're just learning. You've just sort of recently started dedicating yourself to learning about the various creatures down here.
Yeah, I'm still on the.
Get the sense that, yeah, you get the sense that from how he described them, probably among the more powerful ones.
Yeah.
You mentioned pit fiends or stronger.
Either way, Pit Fiends.
Let's not go for stronger.
No, not stronger. I'm still relatively researching all this stuff, but yeah, I assume by the name it's going to be a harder challenge than what we're used to. Mr. Mordenkainen is right. We are relatively unequipped for this kind of hunt, so we need to work out exactly how we can do something.
If anything, we could have begged for more magical implements to help us survive, but
No, one does not beg from a wizard. One respectively asks.
I feel like we
And then ducks
got
when
a
he says no.
lot for
That
barely giving anything.
We're
mean-
pitiful.
We're an oddity.
even I toss a couple of coins to beggars. It's fine. If we just think ourselves like that, it's fine. Our place is not here. So let's try to do this as quickly as possible. We can get the hell out of here.
Let's wing it.
It's
Right.
been Well, I was going to say it's been working for us, but it's not really, has it?
Well, we have no idea where to go, and he said the power of belief will carry us forward. So let's just go and drive somewhere, and maybe we can find this.
Look,
I hate that idea.
Oh no, it's a terrible one. But what else can we do?
give me the map. I'll believe.
So,
I'll be the navigator.
I. That sounds horrible.
Full of belief. Ugh.
Ooh, we got a new name.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, wow! We have a kind of an idea where we are.
Sorry, I'm doing other things. I've got
This
no
is
idea.
the first time we've been at a landmark.
Alrighty, let's go. Let's go to one of these scary monsters. That's on the
you recall as well. Remember the information you got out of the werebore last week. Should have been
Yeah.
an important time to take notes.
If I recall, none of it is fairly accurate, and it all kind of.
She disappears
Hmm.
from time to time. Is that
Well,
the
the
one?
tower does.
Okay.
Trying to think.
Yeah,
You
there's
recall.
too
You
many
recall.
things.
I will give you this one. You recall the werebore did mention some sort of traveling bazaar.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
And
The
finding
night
that's-
market, wasn't it?
Oh yes, I remember now.
Finding that would be would be good.
Yeah, let's go find it.
Yeah, let's go find the traveling bazaar.
Power of belief. Here we come. Let's go.
Let's go
Okay.
that way.
Okay. So
That way.
you boot up your machine, kicking it into gear. Some leftover energy from the previous coin, still keeping the engine going. And with a rumble and a shake, you are back on the road, back through the wilderness. And it's strange. You head in about the same direction that you came, but after a while, the landscape is completely different. The rocks, no familiar landmarks, changed, altered. You see before you a scrapyard of broken metallic bits of these similar machines just broken and sundered against a cliff face, which you had never seen before. Meanwhile, you had sort of camped out at a rock formation, which is now no longer in sight. It's almost as if the landscape, you had heard that the landscape kind of reshapes itself on a daily basis. And this is now your first time you really see how easy it might be to get lost in this endless expanse of red rock and black skies.
If you don't have a map,
I
you
would
don't
like
have belief.
who is driving this vehicle?
Unless Ash wants to.
Oh,
What?
well, I've
Driving?
got the map and I'm gonna navigate.
Okay, I will be just looking around. I don't think I want to drive.
Apparently, it's me then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like whoever is driving to roll 2d4.
Okay, let's go.
So we're driving through some kind of scrapyard?
The scrap. Oh. Okay.
How perfectly average.
You drive along, and let me just. You drive along, and after a while, the landscape doesn't give way any indication of any change, any. It doesn't it doesn't give. You drive and drive and drive for hours. Once again, the monotony starts to sink in, and as you go, hold on, just checking something.
How long does it take to transcribe that spell into your book?
gonna take me 6 hours.
I'm just trying to think. If we're driving for so many hours, you can probably do it in the car.
I can do some of it, yes, probably. If you could warn
if
me
I drive
if there are going
carefully?
to be any, or just warn me so I cannot spill ink all over the.
I was trying to think maybe this
Mark
might
it for a
help
moment.
with getting this sorted out.
So maybe not drive through things
No.
and have it spit out the back because it's so much fun in this vehicle.
You crest a hill and you see a small army in front of you.
As in,
You
or
you see a legion of what look to be devils marching in formation towards some distance. I would like you to roll. I was driving to roll a stealth check to quickly turn your vehicle in a direction to avoid gaze from this army, this small army.
so you're asking me to do a stealth check?
Using
That's the
the cars modifier, but you can add your proficiency because you are proficient in land vehicles.
Okay, so the car has a modifier in stealth, does it?
If not, just straight a dex check. +4.
It'd be funny if you had like some stealth.
Okay, we'll do this as a manual.
I'm scared, wacko.
That's okay. In theory, we can drive through them, and they all get spit out the back.
No.
20. You quickly spin the wheel and you shoot the car to the side and park it behind a large outcropping of rock and just bring it to a stop. And you wait.
Very quiet.
And you wait. And you...
Wait, don't we have the motorcycle as well?
It can be
I
stored
think
when the
it's in
car gets back.
our.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we have
Never-
a cargo bay.
You never went back to get it.
I thought we
Yes,
did.
Yes, we did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did that last. You did that last week.
Yes,
My
which
bad.
was 3 weeks ago. So we've forgotten a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're watching us on
It's in
YouTube,
the cargo bay. Okay.
Yeah.
there was a separation.
Yeah, because I remember there was a conversation about how we're going to mount it in the car, and he said, "Oh, it's a cargo bay." I was going, "All right, good. It's in the cargo
I
bay."
can hold a ton, which is great.
You.
Is that English
Which-
or American ton?
The weight.
You.
Yeah, no,
There's-
there's a difference in.
There's a difference.
You can hold a
That
lot.
shows how much I know.
Probably
wait
and
you-
American.
Yeah, you wait and you wait till after a while the footsteps ebb away and it is quiet once again.
Okay. So who had the belief of, hey, let's drive into an army?
May have been me. Not really over crushing things yet, but you know, sorry, my bad.
Well,
We
Was
gotta
there
try
a
to
pit
believe.
fiend in the army?
I thought we were going to the markets.
Maybe
something,
they're
something.
also-
with people.
sometimes, I guess, sometimes things get in the way.
It's a metaphor for life, you know. If things get in the way, you just hide. It's good. Good lesson.
We do have a vehicle which, if things get in the way, we can just go through them, but Okay,
that's
we'll
a
hide.
lot.
But a small army. And
What?
I mean, I have some spells left, but
Can I try and look at what they're marching towards?
maybe they're going shopping to the market?
Like, if I look off in the distance, can I see what they're marching towards?
Make a perception check.
I mean, if they're going to the market, maybe we can stealthily follow them in our 12,000-pound vehicle.
I'll just keep it on low gear.
you can't see. It's the sand in your eyes and the glare from the horizon. You're sure it's nothing good, but you can't see.
What about much about the army itself? What can I clearly say what side they're on? Or
You broke up for me. What? Sorry,
What?
can you repeat that?
The army itself, it's is there anything interesting about it? Can I tell what side they're on?
Given the regimented movement, the armor, the organization of it, you get the sense that was a devil army, for far too organized to be demonic.
They're probably just heading off to a fight.
Well, that's what armies do.
Well,
Or brothels.
hopefully they stay occupied with it.
I don't think they march to a brothel.
Depends on who's in command, but yeah. So let's pick a direction.
Okay.
Focus on
Alright.
the markets.
Right.
Everyone think of market, think of dealing, think of selling things, think of trying to
Although-
find blood so we get the fuck out of here. Think of something.
That's a separate thing.
Sorry.
Finding blood might be a separate thing, Mike leads to focus.
I think we should
And
just
will
keep going
likely
in the direction.
not get us out of here.
I think if we just keep going in the direction where we're going, it's fine.
I think we'll be following the army if we keep on going that direction, though.
No,
Well,
they crossed our path.
Okay, no problem. Let's go. You navigate.
Alright.
I'll drive.
Sure. Shall we hold hands too?
I mean, we
We can-
can.
Do I have to?
If you want to hold my hand.
Give me a night. I can write up some sermons, and we can sing songs tomorrow.
Go. Just drive the car. Just go.
Sure.
Let's go.
They're not that great. They're more war
You ever
songs,
get
but-
tired of being cynical, Ash?
No, it's actually a lot of fun. You should try it sometimes.
I'll pass.
Wow, I was really expecting my name to be used there, but I'm okay with that. Let's go. Rev up and let's go head on out.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
I would
Ooh.
like, once again, whoever's driving, roll me 2d4.
Go.
2d4. Yay.
Another army.
It's the same one.
Turns out we were just following them.
Again, you continue driving. And as you continue, you begin to see approaching ahead of you. Although, and now you're sure this is not water. As you see a lake, a colossal lake of bubbling black goo-like liquid. And from on the edges of this pit of tar-like substance, you see growths which look like, at first they look like trees, but they're weird, leathery and fleshy. It just sends crawling up your skin, this horrific visage. And then you see closer. Each growth is formed from the same bubbling ichor as the lake, and has a writhe, and they each have almost like hanging fruit, writhing membranous sacs budding from its limbs. Around, nearby, 5 bearded fiends heap coals around the trunks of one of these trees. As they hurl coals onto the pyre, they just start trying to burn these trees.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Let's just
Let's just
nothing to
another
see
one.
here. I mean, I'm curious to ask them what they're doing.
We could ask them for directions.
Can I like stare at them as we drive past? Like,
Are you? You're just kind of parking and just looking at them.
no, we're driving past.
Like nothing.
All right.
Sorry, we're lost. Wrong direction.
If you just drive, they kind of look at you. Right, go first. Right. But then they look to you as if like shouting at you or something. But then you're just gone.
Okay.
That was weird.
Good luck with your whatever you're doing. Bye.
What do you
Right.
think they were doing?
I don't know.
Do you really want to go back and
Well,
find
well,
out?
They weren't picking fruit. They were like burning the tree. Something with coal.
Follow the tree.
Bonfire? Maybe they're throwing a party.
So a demon
Barbecue?
kegger.
I mean, demons are allowed to have
We got another thing on the marketplace. Spotting trees.
Ooh.
I thought it was down here actually, but yep. We're off again apparently.
Yeah, we've got to keep going, I guess.
We
I
just gotta
mean,
keep going.
Yeah.
Follow the belief. Roll d4.
You continue on.
Okay,
And
really believe. Okay? Just really believe.
at this
Oh.
point, you're starting to get tired as you drive. The persistent heat. I need everyone to make con saves.
oh, whoops, that shouldn't have been an advantage.
No, my rolls have been so bad.
See, this
Ava.
is what happens when we don't do this the off game, where you can blow all the bad rolls.
Ava, the persistent heat is stifling. You gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay. So,
As the heat just starts to become unbearable, you're sweating. The steel is not helping, and the sand and the dust being kicked up from the road is just wearing you down.
We may want to stop
Yeah.
for the day.
I think we should stop. Say find a place to park, but we're in hell.
Yes, if we find like a large rock to
Yeah.
get near or something.
Just keep an eye out on the horizon. We'll find somewhere to park it.
Have I been able to?
Can I help?
Yeah, absolutely.
we're all just looking. I've got to do disadvantage.
I will
Yeah.
say, make a. So the thing is, are you trying to copy down the spells on this moving vehicle? It's very difficult because arcane.
Yeah, I guess
require
like
precise iconography, and it's
how
shaky
bumpy
as
is
all
it?
hell. Very.
okay. Then
There is no such thing as suspension.
Yeah, then I'm gonna wait until we
Yeah.
rest.
On the upside,
I can't risk.
to counter having no suspension, any bumps in front of us gets eaten and thrown out the back.
It's true.
And every now and again, you see this.
That doesn't make it smooth enough for me to risk these materials.
Oh, what's
Easy enough. You spot in the distance a outcropping of rock with kind of a ledge overhanging amidst a few broken ruins of some old buildings from a misshapen and a very out of place looking architecture, and you feel like you could be a place to find shelter, if any.
I really want to drive through those buildings,
No.
but it all gets spat out the back.
Yeah, but we need them. Maybe on the
I
way out.
know.
on the way out.
Promise?
Yeah, I mean
Awesome.
it'd be cool. So
I mean, why have a truck like this or a vehicle like this which like eats everything that you run over if you can't use it?
true.
Well, don't look at me like that, Reservoir.
It's not that
You-
you can't use it, it's just that we should use it wisely and sparingly.
Yeah, if you run over rocks, it might jam up the gears. And you got to put ash in this giant thing, and you also know how you remove one brick and everything works. And we're out a team member.
Okay. I
Alright,
only
so
But
Smash it.
next demon army we run across, you can mow into them.
run
Fair?
through.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, good point. Power of belief.
No, I thought the next demon army could be a really big one, not a small one.
you so
Let's
you
just
pull
try.
up amongst these ruins, and you park your car in the sort of the ruined shell of a building. Around you, you see strangely curved architecture, almost as if the creators, whoever made these buildings, didn't know what a straight line was. Everything is warped and at an angle. Even the windows and doors themselves have this weird bend to them.
I'm imagining like Dark Dr. Seuss.
Oh yeah.
A little bit, but it's off-putting and like warped as opposed to cartoony.
I
You
was
see,
going to say,
That's where the dark comes in.
Yeah, I was going to say history check with this beat with stone cutting. I can actually have a plus something to my thing.
yeah, go for it.
We ran
'cause-
across the cast of the Lorax earlier. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Whenever you make intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, which is what this is, proficient in history skill and add double your proficiency bonus to the check.
Adding double your proficiency bonus.
Yeah. So
Plus, so stonemason check plus, so it would be plus your whatever. I say intelligence plus 8.
okay. Intelligence.
Are we level 8 or 7?
7.
Okay.
Yeah, our proficiency bonus is 3 right now.
Oh,
Stay.
so plus 6 then. Plus 6, sorry.
So it'll be 10.
10. Not a clue.
You can see Burlock just running his hands across it, trying to work out where it's going. You can-
It's weird. The stone, it's continuous. It's perfectly smooth. There are no faults. There's no joins or cement. It is just perfectly smooth. Almost as if the rock was just made like this. You suspect it was magic was involved in some degree, but other than that, you've not a clue.
Maybe
You
it
look
was
around these.
grown.
You look around these displays. You see statues half buried. You see any wood or metal that was here has probably long been either burnt, rotten, or taken for scrap, leaving just the hollow shells of this twisted stone. It's almost like a scene from a Wild West movie. Just the desert and an empty ghost town with wind blowing through it and sand. But it is sheltered, partly. And so anything you'd like to do before you take a long rest?
So it's going to take me 6 hours to transcribe the spell, which is a long time. I can do some of it and then just not have it yet. We can stay here for a long time. We can literally just do the rest.
I think it might be best to guard you while doing that and use that as our proper rest.
Yeah, I'll take first watch and just keep an eye on Del if on Reservoir if she's doing the thing.
It just
Everyone else
means
is
that
take a break.
I won't
Yeah.
get spells back if I don't sleep, though.
Maybe you could rest in the car.
In that giant metal hot tin thing, one does not rest in there. One loses weight.
Yeah. So
How about for the moment, since we don't seem to be on a time frame per se, we use this as a base. We work on what we wanting to do. Then once we're good, we move on.
How much fuel do we have left actually?
I would say this would be the last embers of the current soul coin.
Yeah.
yeah, and
According
we
to what
have-
Lorian
Yeah.
said in the last one.
So each soul coin has 3 charges. And 1 charge can last 24 hours.
And we
So
have
you've
we
used
got
2.
3 more last week.
And
So
How much have
on,
you used
of
to?
of this current coin, there is 1 more day.
Okay.
On the
And then
upside,
we
we're
have
only driving 1 vehicle now
6 coins.
instead of
Yes.
Okay.
the bike as well.
Because I've got 3.
I think I have 2 and Emmy has 1.
So I've got 6 soul coins total.
Okay.
So what are we doing? Are we resting, or are we
I
trying
think
to
we should.
protect?
So are we
Just depends on how everyone's feeling. I mean, I'm all right with keeping going if we just take a small rest, but I've been sleeping and napping a little bit on the car. I'm not sure how everyone else is.
I think if we can keep an eye out while Reservoir finishes what she needs to do, we can possibly then use that to do a proper rest.
Yes. We can.
But we're going to be exhausted by that stage until we.
Yes.
But very much keep an eye out. This
I
is
don't know
not
about you guys,
normal.
but I'm kind of tired.
I'll also say,
Yes.
just from the travel it's been going through, the machine, and also from the fight from before, the machine is starting to look pretty banged up, and your vehicle currently counts as having 1 level of exhaustion as well, until it is
So we managed to get that fixed up.
until maintenance is performed.
Ah, that's me. That's my job. Well, since our vehicle's looking a little bit rough, let's just take a break for as long as we can, and then we can just do whatever we can. I'll be working
Yes.
on trying to make sure our vehicle is, keeping us alive. So
Okay.
And try not to explore the ruins, people's.
yeah, everyone keep with someone else. Don't. There could be things out there, and if you die out here,
You
oh yeah,
stay
you're
here.
dead. It doesn't matter. You're dead. So everyone
We-
just try to keep to each other.
That's one thing we could have asked that mage. What happens if we die? Because we don't really know yet.
I thought that was
The
already
question for
established.
the ages.
All right.
Either way, we have a plan. Let's get it done.
All right.
Don't go out by yourself.
Of
So,
course.
are you taking a rest here?
I think the first thing that we're doing is I'm going to copy the spell down.
Okay. That'll take
So-
you 6 hours.
And
Yeah.
everyone else is
Uh,
essentially guarding except
I'm
for
gonna have a nap.
Ash doing a little bit of maintenance.
All right.
Ava,
Oh.
I think, has to lap.
Yeah.
I'll be floating around helping either Ash or Reservoir if they need me.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
think-
bring Lulu as a light to help me.
You can't.
Yeah, you can using a celestial as a light.
She's
As a
like,
nightlight.
you say you just ask, can you provide some light? She said, yeah, sure. I'd be happy to help. And you see from underneath this, it's almost like a lampshade, like one of those lampshades with holes cut in it. The way the light flares out through the different gaps in the chassis of this vehicle. As Ash, you get to work. So could I get you to make a Tinker's Tool check, please?
Tinker's tools. Let's go.
Or Smith's Tools of your choice.
I have
I
both.
think Burlock and I need to actually be watching.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Tinker's tools. Query intelligence.
The other 2 perception checks, please.
I would also like to add 5 to this using Flash of Genius if possible.
Okay.
So 28.
Someone's got skills.
All right,
This is not roads and
you
refugees.
you get to work. You start hammering away. You see bits where the undercarriage, the sort of the a bit bent from hitting a rock at the wrong place. You start to heat it and reshape it and meld it. You find dings and weakness where the metal has kind of sheared and torn. And again, applying gentle heat to heat the metal, the back and the pieces of metal, using a combination of your innate fiery magic and the tools you've been provided. You remove the level of exhaustion. And could I get you to roll, what would this be? Could I get you to roll 2d10 and add your intelligence?
2d10 plus 5. Not bad.
Nice. That heals 21 points of damage, and any remaining goes to temporary.
Okay. Did you want me to put it on the sheet itself, or?
It's a little awkward because the sheet.
Yeah, because you can't update the health on that.
It's not a character sheet, is it?
There's a character sheet for the demon grinder. There is one.
It's an NPC sheet, I think is what he's saying.
Yeah, NPC.
Yeah, it's an NPC sheet, and NPCs don't have temporary HP for some stupid reason. Where's the appendix?
You do plus 21. Yeah, I can just do 200 and put like a plus and then the 21, and after the plus would.
That works, yeah.
Okay, so 200 plus 21. I'm not sure if it took damage in the last fight though.
Yeah, we blew it up Reservoir blew it up. Well,
it did. It would have taken a little bit of damage.
Okay.
Again, because it's one character sheet for every single demon grinder. It's not like it's reset itself. Yeah. So I'll say for the purpose of that, give it 10 temporary HP, and the rest would be recovered damage.
I can teach you offline how to do that.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay.
All right.
I apologize, but it was kind of coming at us, so I hit it with a giant fireball of lightning damage.
It was good.
Twice. Wait. Nope, just once.
That's the reason why
Emmy,
I'm not over there.
Emmy, you start a power nap. Trying to get your rest in early. Burlock, you're too busy you're thinking. It's like you're not really being heavily perceptive because your mind is swimming with different thoughts about fiends, about like trying to think what's pit fiend. Just trying to think and recollect information. Karsh, you keep a decent eye out, and there's occasional movement amongst the ruins. Yeah. You see small little figures, strange looking, scurrying shapes that flit in and out of buildings and then are gone.
Yeah, this is not good.
They seem to be keeping a distance, but you notice them nonetheless.
Keep together, guys, girls. There's things here. Might not be the best place to sleep if they know how to use a spanner.
Ava's snoring in the background.
I know Ava's always
that.
But just keep close. There's things here.
Bellock's in a lot of his own, just trying to think about everything that's going on. It's been a weird couple of weeks for Burlock.
Weeks? It's not even been a week.
Hasn't? Oh.
We don't know yet, technically.
Oh. We get exhausted, we sleep. We'll class that maybe as a day. It's probably the best way of putting it.
Ash knows time. She knows it's mortal time. With keen mind, she knows what hour it is. It's been exactly a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah. You I would say in this it's straining. You have a knack for knowing the time based on the position of the sun and the moon and the position of the stars in the sky. Here it's how many hours have passed since your last rest, but beyond that, the sky is ever the same. There is no indication of the passage of time. It is the same black black rolling sky of dark clouds and the same glowing light surrounding the entire horizon. And it is ever unchanging.
It's been about 3 days. Maybe. Maybe.
When you guys sleep, you have no idea how long you've been asleep for when you wake, because there is nothing to indicate the passage of time. You could have been asleep for days for all you know. It's a very disconcerting feeling.
Okay.
Pretty sure. All right. Is there anything else people are wanting to do while you are parked up here amongst the ruins?
I mean, after I'm done copying down the spell, are we like properly resting?
Yes.
Yes.
May not want to rest right next to these rooms though, because there are things here.
Okay.
Just
Well,
as I thought.
This will keep them out.
Of the vehicle?
Not of the vehicle.
That's-
Yes.
So we will have a safe place for us to sleep, kind of, but the vehicle's left unattended?
We should be able to see it.
Okay, I think. Okay, if that's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Can we
as
make
you
a
all
safe
reservoir,
space
as you
inside the vehicle.
I think that would depend on how big it is. It's a 10-foot radius, so it's sort of a dome that I can create. It would be about 10 feet tall at its highest point, but it's spherical in nature, or half spherical.
And is it attached to the ground, or is it attached to an object that it's sitting on, or?
Precisely where I am at that moment.
So it's just a fixed point of space.
Yes.
Question. Saying, this is certainly for a wizard's question. What if the space moves? Or if the ground moves around us, because the whole place seems to move?
No, it's specifically where I am at the time of the casting. And if I leave that about 10-foot radius, it would disappear.
But what I mean is, like, the whole, like Avonus keeps on changing and moving. So if it's fixed on the land, then would we move with it? Like, would we move with the land, or if it's fixed in space, would the land move differently to where we're?
That's a good question. I don't
Should we ask the other wizard when
know
we see him next?
Avernus that well. I mean, we could
What
always
hap-
just try it. And
Okay, so what happens if you cast inside the vehicle and you drive the vehicle? Does the vehicle become just a giant hamster ball?
no, it would disappear as soon as the vehicle left the radius, as I'm assuming I would be in the vehicle at that time. And it's hemispherical, so it's only half of a sphere.
Okay, this is just getting weird. Let's just get some rest.
I will spend the 11 minutes needed to ritually cast Tiny Hut.
All right. Would you care to describe this spell as you cast it for the first time?
Yes. So,
Fishbowl, isn't it?
or are we moving before we're doing this, or are we resting here? We're resting here. Okay. So, I sort of gather everyone somewhat close to ensure that they're within 10 feet of me at the time of the casting. And it's rather boring to watch. It's tracing runes and murmuring arcane words for an annoyingly long period of time in the sweltering heat. But then this sort of, it looks gray from the outside, dome just sort of swells and passes through you. And so it's 10 feet in diameter that just sort of pops up around us. From inside, you, I believe, can see, so you can see what's going on outside. It's transparent, but if one of you were to step out, it's opaque in the same color as the stone of all the wonky buildings around us. It's relatively cool, definitely much cooler than anywhere in Avernus has been. A little bit cooler than it was at the tower, simply because Reservoir has put it to her tasting, and she tends to like things a little bit chillier. It's dry, you know, there's no sand blasting in the face from anything like that. It's quite nice.
And
comparatively.
how are you making it look from the outside?
Oh, it's an opaque, like gray stone color, the same as all the buildings around us.
Okay.
To blend in as much as possible.
Okay. So, you find yourselves now encased in this hemisphere of ever so faintly shimmering magical energy, keeping the elements at bay, keeping the heat at bay. You take your bedrolls, you crack into the rations you have, dry and but taste slightly bitter from their time on the plane. Reservoir, I presume you create some water for everyone to drink.
I
Yes.
can do it in the morning. I cannot do it now because I made it rain.
Yeah. So, with Reservoir's magic tapped, you are forced to delve into your existing canteens to find the fetid and brackish and slightly slimy water, a thin film of gross membrane on top, which kind of sits. And you swear drinking, you kind of feel something crunch in your teeth, which is just like, oh God, really uncomfortable. But despite that, you grit through it. You start to lie down. And do you all go to sleep?
Nope, I'll be keeping an eye out.
Okay.
Because Ava rested a bit before, Ava can also spend some time.
So what's the watch order here?
Bell will take first watch.
Okay.
Are you sure? I can take first watch.
No, you're still. You were taking a short rest or a long rest when you're doing your sleep?
Well, she
Long.
was like,
She was resting.
Power
Yeah.
napping.
Power napping, so short rest.
Siesta.
Really? Oh.
So I can watch first and then go back to sleep.
Okay.
Just
So
just
Ava
running
first.
across the water.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, we'll do.
Fact.
what-
I think here would be a good time. So
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
about to mention.
Sounds
yeah,
good.
let's go to a break, and then we'll come back. We'll come back to this afterwards.
Yeah, us parking our car in a bad neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have much of a choice.
Or parking our war machine. I wasn't going to say ghetto, but certainly a haunted place, or not a nice place. Or
No, park that car in Anala.
Is there any nice place in Avernus?
I
This
mean,
tiny
just
hut.
take a look. You can have a look at the map. The map is yours.
yeah, I mean there's Elturel, but again, that's just like really. Do
Still
you want
wouldn't
to?
be a safe place to park your war machine at this
But
day and
it's not a
age.
nice place anyway.
Reservoir would argue that.
Normally, before it moved.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Reservoir likes it normally before it moved.
So we're going to have our break. So stick around. We'll be back shortly. And we'll find out just how badly we have stuffed up here by parking where we are. Who knows? We might just wake up and have what was our vehicle on cinder bricks with the wheels removed and the engine taken out, and no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So stick around. We'll be back shortly.
Catch you in a bit.
everybody, we're back and we're live. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
So we had a little bit of technical issues during the break, so you can all blame me. That's okay. But we're back. We're live for our really haunted or bad or nasty ruined city where we're probably going to get killed. But hey, we're sleeping. Nothing's bad's going to hurt us here.
We're at protective dome.
Protective dome.
Nothing can come inside the dome.
Yep.
We're protected.
Sweet home.
Our vehicle is not.
Sweet dome, sweet chariot.
That's why we have people on watch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can watch our vehicle get towed away.
Speaking of which, we get back in as people rest for the what counts as night here. And I believe Ava was taking the first watch.
Yes.
So, I would like for you to make a perception check.
Because I was sleeping before, did my exhaustion go away?
You were sleeping for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Which is, I would say at this point, no,
I probably should have taken the second.
because ours
That's
is long
why I was
rest.
going to say take second watch.
Well, you can take first watch then.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take second.
Knowing that, Burlock, would you like to take first watch?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
would.
Would you please roll a perception?
Yep. Please be good.
Better than 5. Yay.
Take that.
Okay. You're watching. You sit there as your companions sleep around you, and you look around. And your eyes are drawn mostly to the masonry around this place and its unusual nature. You spot the statue from before. You get a closer look at it now, and you see it's the figure of a woman lying sort of half askew in the sand. And around her face, almost like a lion's mane of swords and other weapons. It's a little disconcerting. And as you kind of watch, you just see amongst the distant buildings, slight movement of something small, just in and out of the shadows.
I don't wake anyone up because it could just be hell. So I'm just keeping an eye out on that stuff. And
Okay. Keep an eye.
I keep an eye out on it, see if it comes closer. And that's my turn.
During your but other than that, there's nothing else in your watch.
Okay. Feeling slightly creeped out by the statue, though. Like, ooh.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
Now it's my turn.
All right.
Do
You
tell
wake
me-
feeling pretty well rested.
Do you
So-
tell me about the statue?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you about the statue. I'll tell you about there is movement, but they haven't come close yet.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Ava, I would like for you to make a perception check.
Yeah. Oops, I left disadvantage on. Oh, it's
7.
bad. Oh, my rolls today have been so bad.
Welcome back.
You're keeping an eye out, but your eyelids are still quite heavy. You're still quite tired. And you manage to stay awake, but you don't got much of anything. You're fighting fatigue. And the time passes, you to wake someone up, and it's nothing spotted. Nothing seems to have happened during your watch.
Okay. I'm gonna go wake up Warwick.
I'm pretty sure there was an order, but okay.
We didn't
How-
have an order.
No, order was it was
He
going to
woke,
be
I could have woken up.
okay.
Apparently it's my So anything, what's going on?
Bullock said something about there being movement, but I didn't see anything.
Okay. Cool.
Keep an eye out.
Who's had watch so far?
Me and Bolo. That's it.
Okay, no problem.
Perception check, Warwick, as you settle down for your night of watch. Your 19. You focus, and you see the movement scuttering in and out of the buildings. And then something wanders out into the open. And you're taken aback by just how fucking ugly this creature is. It walks upon two legs. It's small. Walks upon two legs like a bird-like legs. But the body is this fleshy pink skin-colored shape, which almost comes up to like a point. Now at the front, a head, an eyeless head with a wide mouth filled with sharp teeth. And this thing, the point just like two gross, disgusting wings made of flapping skin. Some sort of twisted bird-like creature, warped beyond recognition, wanders out into the open and just starts plucking at the ground before it wanders up and tink, 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 edge of the dome, just wandering away.
Get very, very quiet.
I will show you a picture.
Oh god, do I even want to see this picture?
Because this thing defies explanation.
Let's hide the map and let's see. We'll see the picture first before see if I want to show it. Very quiet. On the other side of the dome.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a chicken?
On the bright side, look at the size of the drumsticks.
It's
Right.
you can't help but just turn your nose up as this thing walks past.
We know what a chicken dinner.
It's every movement, it just looks like it's in agony. It's really uncomfortable.
Just keep quiet, keep an eye on
walks
it.
past and then flies, just sort of scampers back into the shadows.
Let's get the next person. Reservoir. Just a warning, we've got some weird stuff happening. There's small little creatures
Nice.
which
Muted. Reservoir.
Sorry. What kind of weird stuff?
well, there's things in the shadows and hiding, but one came out. Don't know if it's all the same, but they're ugly little things with a big mouth. Lots of flesh. You'll know when you see it. One came up to the edge of the dome and just tapped it to see what it was. They then went off. They may be able to fly, so also check up.
Fantastic. Am I
Don't
the
know how-
last one on watch? What?
Oh no, you get to wake up Smokey.
So that will go wonderfully.
Just bottle of water.
I'm going to use my
Okay.
best judgment.
Okay, just don't mention how bad Baldur's Gate is.
All right.
I've got that.
Yeah. Good luck.
Reservoir. I would like for you to make a perception check. Okay. You sit there watching. You keep your eye out, particularly for that creature. But then something else catches your eye. You hear the soft sound of footsteps. And just barely, you're looking around and you're not seeing anything, but you heard something. You heard something moving, but you're not sure. You kind of peer around, and you see footsteps in the sand.
Do they appear to be coming in our direction or going, or
They do.
they're coming in our direction?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna be over by Ash. And if they get up all the way to the dome, or if they're going near the war machine, I'll wake her up. But like just keeping an eye out.
Okay. You keep your eye on whatever it is approaching, and you just keep your eye out and you hear soft whisper of some words.
I'm gonna wake up Ash.
And then in a flash, there is a flash of light and the dome shatters. And appearing out of nowhere, having cast a spell, you see one of those ogre-like creatures with the wings and battle axe. And I would like for you to roll initiative.
Was I able to wake up Ash when I heard that whispering?
We'll see.
I'm so
We'll
glad
see.
I got rid of my exhaustion.
Wake me up inside.
Alright, this map might take a while to load.
Holy.
Oh, this is a big old map.
Yeah,
This is
so
a huge old map.
you are down here.
We zoom all the way out. Oh my god.
There we are.
Give me good roll.
And let me just this is what you see.
I will try my best, Lorian, not to use insider knowledge on this map.
Yeah, I'm repurposing
Yep.
a map.
Yep.
That is what you see.
A map which I've ran 6 times.
Yeah. I'm not this. The map is.
I know.
I'll just let you know. This is repurposed for a different.
Yeah, all good.
It representative. It's all good.
I like the map though. So yeah.
It
That's
is a very good
nasty
map.
creature. Let's show the map again. That's a big creature. Oh, that's nasty. I
Oh,
want
yeah,
this.
it's not the same guy we met earlier at the Wizard's Tower.
Friendly
So-
remote. Yeah.
Have I got a long rest in yet, or no?
Yeah, who has and who hasn't is the question. Also, friendly reminder for everyone to click your tokens when you press initiative.
Yes.
Oh
'cause
yeah, I'm gonna
otherwise-
have to hang on.
I
I'm
didn't
gonna have to
have
roll
that
again
yet.
so I add myself to the initiative.
Yep.
I might actually beat Ava. Issue rolls a 1.
Oh, I've already rolled. I rolled a 14.
Oh,
Oh, that would have been way
Go
better.
back.
I mean, we're both asleep anyway, but this is a rare
Okay.
thing.
Is that
They
everyone?
didn't even add me. To roll again. Hang on. There we go. Change that to a 14. There you go.
All right. Is everyone got their initial rolls all set up?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, Avoir, you watch as your dome, your protective dome, is dispelled,
I was
vanishing,
worried about that.
and the creature steps forward with a grin. In fact, he is going to... Let me pull up the character sheet. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He is going to... Yeah, he's just going to stand there.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does the sudden wave of heat wake us up?
We'll get to that. Warwick, I would like you to make a perception check with disadvantage.
Yay. No.
You are sleeping as sound as a baby.
With a 6 or a natural 1. Yep.
Yeah. Ava, I would like you to make a perception check with disadvantage.
Yo. No, I shouldn't have gone back to sleep. Okay.
15. The sudden rush of heat, especially because you had quite a bit. The end of your turn, you jolt awake, and suddenly you see the dome gone, the tents again, and this creature in the distance grinning, wielding a battle axe. Burlock, perception check with disadvantage. Seven. You are sleeping soundly. None the wiser. Ash, perception with disadvantage.
Perception with disadvantage. I'll have to say, you started me over here. Should I still be there? Because I would have been sleeping closer to the grinder, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, because I would have collapsed.
That's entirely. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Perception with disadvantage. Before I roll this, can I use Flash of Genius?
I don't think that applies here. 5. Nope. Sleeping reservoir. You suddenly panic, and for the briefest instant, you hear more voices. Not trying to whisper this time, as another creature appears. But you only have a moment to see it before you upness.
Ah.
So I still had a moment to see it though.
You did, but it was a briefest flash. You saw a second one in your peripheral vision before suddenly you see nothing.
I would like to.
It's not your.
Wait,
it's
I
not
guess...
your turn yet.
Oh, it's not. Oh, sorry.
No.
I assumed I was wrong.
Lulu is going to make a perception check with disadvantage.
We need the light.
Do Lulus actually
A
sleep?
6. No.
No.
She went to sleep at the same time I did because I was using her as a pen light.
Reservoir, it is now your turn. You cannot see anything.
Okay. I am going to drop some acid anyway and hope that it hits. And hope that it is loud enough to wake everyone. I'm also going to shout for people to wake up while I'm doing this, but I will I'm gonna kind of do it. Is there anyone in front of me? I'm gonna do it there-ish. So it'll be a 20-foot radius.
We have no idea where this is. Oh my god.
I figured out how to do the darkness spell in Roll20, and I am so pleased.
Oh, it's
I'm not.
incredible.
It's just fog of war.
It takes some setting up, but you'll find it's quite clever how I've implemented it.
Yeah,
I want to learn it.
so,
I'm picking your brain after.
Hide the map layer.
So
Sorry. Wait, it's
You can put everyone onto the GM screen, but then then they're not in the turn order, so it's not that.
I guess, yeah. So I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be acid.
Okay.
Have I got the long rest in yet? Because I need to know whether to count it against my spells for today or for yesterday.
I will allow it. Seeing as a long rest includes a period of downtime, which I will allow you to include your transcribing.
All right. That means one spell gone.
You
for
did
today.
hear, as soon as the dark note came up, you did hear footsteps coming toward.
Yeah, I'm still gonna cast it. Just my best estimate was like, I think right here.
Okay.
So, 20 feet all around there.
Okay.
Spending a sorcery point to make it acid.
Okay. You fire out the shot. And let's see. An 8 save. So half damage. Oh. Yep. You don't know what's going on, so that's your turn.
Yep. And I'm gonna shout, "Wake up!" And
At this
not
point
trip
now,
over anyone.
everyone, your eyes flick open, and you see nothing, but you hear Reservoir shout, and you hear the of a acidic fireball off in the darkness, but you are completely blind. All right. Ava.
Yes. Oh, you skipped.
I would like to know.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Third attack. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Probably about
Ava, two hands grasp down and grab a hold of you. And you are going to be grappled. So you were not expecting this. So they have advantage because you are also prone. So I would like you to roll athletics or acrobatics check to contest the grapple.
I guess go acrobatics. Oh wait, I left disadvantage on.
So 27. You feel these hands grip down, and you instinctively kip yourself up onto your feet, knocking the hands back, and you just hear as suddenly you are struck by a heavy claw. Does a 27 hit you? I believe it does.
Yes.
You take 8 points of slashing damage, and I would like you to make a con save. Okay. You take this wound and you kind of jump back and grab yourself as the nails sink into your skin, but you've managed to keep yourself composed.
Okay.
Warwick, it is now your turn. You cannot see a thing.
I do have light on my sword, have I not?
The light is having no effect.
I was just trying to find the mechanic of it. If that's an action to use, then that's an action to use.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to find the mechanics of that type of sword.
Are you talking about the redemption sword?
No, I've got a radiant halberd. The radiant property. I just realised it right became my turn, sorry. And of course,
I've
I
not.
can't spell. Will, you're muted if you're talking.
Are you thinking about?
Sorry.
Are you think?
He's talking
are you
about the
thinking-
infusion. That
Yes,
I
the
gave.
infusion.
Oh, the
Yes.
infusion. That's.
Yeah.
I was
Yes,
confused. I was
very
like, I don't remember
important.
that. Are you talking about the
sorry.
silver?
I was muted. It's bright light for 30 feet radius and dim light for another 30 feet, but I assume this is magical darkness,
Yes.
which
it
probably
does
doesn't
not.
do anything with it.
It does
Yeah.
not pierce magical darkness.
Does it use an action to use it?
I don't know.
Bonus-
Will you?
Bonus action to cause it to
Bonus.
shed bright light.
So bonus action. I'm trying to do that.
Bonus
Nothing
action.
happens. Fight defense. So take defensive posture. And yell
Okay.
you Lulu to do something, please.
Brace yourself. Ava, it is now your turn.
Yes. So something just tried to grab me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use. I'm pretty sure I can just kind of like jump off prone with 5 feet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get up from prone, and I'm just gonna start attacking in the direction of this thing. I can't see it, but
No.
I'm gonna try.
All right. So it's a disadvantage to hit.
Yes. So we'll just do 2 hits to begin with. So put back on disadvantage.
13 will miss. 17 will miss.
This is not working.
You swing out. Your first one hits air. Your second one, you feel make contact with the tough skin, but it just is stopped by a thick wall of flesh. And you just hear in the darkness.
Okay, I am going to use a key point to use patient defense and
Okay.
take the dodge action.
You close your eyes and focus, trying to feel the wind and blows as an axe may or may not swing your direction, trying to hear the sound of footsteps to judge movement. You brace yourself. Bullock,
Keep
it's your
my
turn.
eyes closed.
Okay.
You wake up and you see dark. You're on the floor.
Well, I stand up for half my action. So I don't see anything. Can I hear a general direction where people are?
You can hear heavy footsteps and you can hear that laughter to right in front of you to the north.
All right. Well, I'll take. I assume I'll take a step, one step towards the noise and see if I can hit anything with my sword.
Okay, roll with disadvantage.
Do you want me to move first or just do it from there?
You try to move and you take a step forward and you bump into something big and heavy.
Okay. No, knowing there's something in front of me, I shall attack at disadvantage. With the sword. This would be with the great sword.
15 will not hit.
Ooh. I should do that again. Actually, I should be raging. Damn it. Oh well, I'll do it next turn.
You can rage now.
Oh, no, I already pressed it.
A 25 will hit. So, I will say you can rage if you want to.
Okay, I will rage now.
All right.
So that'll be an extra 2 on top of that.
You call upon your anger and you swing with reckless abandon, and you make contact, and you feel the blade sink into the deep, into the flesh of all you. And what is the additional rage damage on top of that?
+2, so it'll be
Plus 2,
15
so
total.
15. All right, 15 points of damage. You hear, Kurdosh, Hiranai.
What language is that?
Yeah, bark some more, but you don't understand. Ash, it's your turn.
Sure, I understand Infernal and Celestial
You
and Abyssal.
you understand Infernal. This creature
Yeah.
say, they're awake! Hurry!
They're trying to jack our car.
Do you think we would be awake?
Okay. All right. So on my turn, noticing that this is all happening, I'm going to immediately cast, or rather, I'm going to bring out my Eldritch Cannon for the first time of the day. I assume that I took a long rest, so I wouldn't have to send a spell slot for it. So Protector, and then whoever's within 10 feet of me, I can't see, but I still think I'm gonna just grant temporary hit points to everything within 10 feet. I'm not quite sure what the thing is for that, but
it is just a radius, and that actually will catch everyone. So everyone within 10 feet, you feel this surge come over you as this healing energy, and you may all add 13 temporary hit points.
Yeah, I'm rolling amazing on that. And then with the bonus action of doing that, since it's magical darkness, would I know this kind of spell? Like, have I seen this kind of spell get cast before? If it's anything,
you know this. You know this is the darkness spell. You're familiar enough with. It's not a very complicated spell.
Okay, then I'm gonna try to back up out of it then, if possible.
Okay.
Towards the machine. So I'm gonna go north. I can't quite see past that. So so one.
You squeeze past Warwick, like you kind of bump into him, and you have to push past him.
I'm just gonna say move. 2, 3, 4, and then after I go out of the darkness, I'm gonna see that I'm gonna yell out, "The car's still here! Back out! It's free." I was gonna say it's free real estate. It's free. You can see out here. And then 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I still can't see.
Yeah,
So,
you are currently standing next to one of the thick rubble walls. You can see the edge of the darkness here, partially covering the machine. But in front of you, you've kind of stepped around behind a wall now.
Yeah, as I'm back there, I'm going to ready an action then instead. I'm going to ready an action of I probably will do a ray of lightning if I see an enemy. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no. Can I just dash? Never mind. I'm gonna dash. I'm gonna try to get a sight. So I move 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right. I see something.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna back up. I'm just gonna just a little edge. Okay, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. You see this creature, and it sees you, and it just looks at you and grins, and then vanishes.
Okay, I will give double birds as it vanishes.
Reservoir, you hear heavy footsteps just appear next to you before a 26 to hit. A heavy greatsword, a heavy blade comes swinging down out of nowhere. Oh! Ow! Oh! I just rolled max damage. You take 29 points of slashing damage. 2d12, I rolled 12 and a 12.
Thank God for that temporary HP.
Yeah. You take 29 points of slashing damage as you hear this thing appearing before a heavy gash. You are racked with pain as this heavy blade sinks into your shoulder, almost breaking your collarbone. And Lulu's going to fly straight up and out of the darkness before flittering off to the side. Ash in your head, like, I can't see in there. I don't know if I don't know if I'll hit them if I try anything. So she is going to hold her action. Reservoir, it's your turn.
I am going to risk it. I'm gonna move. 1, 2, 3.
Another 26 to hit you with an opportunity attack.
Yep, that'll hit.
You take, not so bad that time. You take 18 points of slashing damage.
Not so bad. Sure.
That's a relative term, I think.
Oh, yeah, 5, 20. I'm gonna go 25, 30. And I'm gonna use the staff to heal myself. I'll spend 3 charges because that hurt a lot. Okay, so I'll almost heal from that hit.
Okay.
And I'll shout out, they're those things from the tower.
Okay. All right. This thing is going to swing twice. Once at Ava and once at Burlock. Ava, because you took patient defense, that is a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits me.
Still waiting, preparing. You try and catch the sound of an oncoming swing as it heads in your direction, but it still breaks through your grasp and cuts through. You take 15 points of slashing damage. And against Burlock, that is a 21 to hit.
That breaks. That gets me.
You take 24 points of damage, half.
Yep.
As a blade, just in the darkness, swing, swing. You both are racked with pain, and you hear the splashing of blood to the ground. Warwick, it's your turn.
Oh, looks like nothing's attacking me, but there's something else going on. See if I can figure out which one, like where the action is, and just start swinging high.
Okay.
As in,
Oh no.
they were large creatures, yes?
They were. They did appear to be quite large.
So I'm not trying to swing our level, try a little bit higher, because I've got a lot of reach. I just don't know where.
It's attack with disadvantage.
Which direction are you attacking in?
I can if I'm just
You heard sounds coming to the west of you on this map.
It's very general. I think west is about as accurate as you. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go disadvantage. Nope.
12 will not hit.
Try again.
Neither will a 14.
And butt strike. Try to shoot the other side.
No. You swing wildly in the dark, and you just hitting air. Can't quite seem to figure out where this thing is.
Hit the weapon. Hit the weapon.
Okay.
Us.
Ava, it's your turn.
I guess I'm just gonna try to attack it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Disadvantage. Natural 1.
It is right in front of me.
Mm-hmm. That's not severe. You just miss. But what you do is you punch, and you feel it. You what you do is you clang against the blade as it intercepts your punch, and your hand hits steel. And you flinch back, but then you can try and go again. 14 will not hit.
Did that come through as
Okay,
acrobatics?
I'm gonna call out to everyone.
It did come up as acrobatics.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Sorry, I pressed.
Oh yeah, that was an F check.
Where's my brain at? Oh my god!
I mean, it's 5 plus 8 plus 8, so I'll take the original 14. Still doesn't hit, but it's not a crit fail.
I'm just gonna yell it to everyone. We just need to get out of this darkness. And I'm gonna step in the wind and disengage. And
Okay, where are you running?
direction. I remember the vehicle was this way, so I'm
Yeah.
just gonna move in that direction and hope for the best. Well, oh, it's so weird. Well, and I run literally into the vehicle.
Yeah, you run out and you bang into the side of this thing.
Ah! So I'm gonna move around. Okay, I can see now. That's good.
Ash, it's your turn.
Did you skip me?
No, oh yeah, whoops, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you skipped him.
I was gonna wait, what?
Yeah. That happens if I accidentally forget the bonus action, go forward, then, okay, Eddie, your turn, go forward. So,
Yeah.
Burlock, it's your turn.
I'm gonna attack the darkness recklessly, so normal.
Okay.
It's my funeral.
Attack the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want to get hit by one of these guys.
14 will not hit.
And, well, recklessly again.
No. Your blade goes wide as you attack the darkness to no avail, thrashing around blindly as you hear chow from either side. Ash, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna see Lulu come out and just kind of just do the eye thing just as we stare at each other. I'm gonna move out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is, let me see. 6. I still can't see anything is the problem.
Yeah. Right before you hear is the ball of darkness.
Okay. I'm gonna yell, and if people can respond, I'm gonna yell, "Is everyone out of the darkness?" I yelled that for everyone to get out before. Can anyone respond out of turn or no?
Yeah, they can respond out of turn.
Yeah. Is everyone out?
No.
Do it anyway.
No!
I cast Shatter.
Okay, could you please click on the square where you'd like to center shatter?
Okay. I just lost my background, by the way, so we just have to see what happens.
We're not
Anyways.
watching. We're not seeing anything.
Shatter. Cast it
Shattered your
once.
background.
I did. Cast it right here.
Okay.
Right in the center of everything.
Yep,
Just 9.
I will.
Nice.
Burlock, I need you to make a con save, please.
Yeah. It also gets an extra D8 because it's arcane firearm. So 14 total.
14 total. So, number 1. 2. Unfortunately, they both pass.
We still take half damage, I believe.
Yeah. So, 7 points of damage.
Yeah.
7 points of
would it-
damage.
Trigger concentration checks or no?
It will. DC 10. Con save DC 10.
You probably got it though.
That's a 9.
What?
They roll natural 5 plus 4 and 9. Oh wait, hold on. Unless
No, your math is right.
No, your math is right.
amazingly, they don't have proficiency in con saves. So the darkness vanishes.
I can see. I apologize to the
See
viewers for
now
the last half an
these
hour.
two hulking creatures on either side of you, Burlock, and one of them just holds his head and you.
How much do I take? Do I take 12 as well, or do I
You
take
take
6?
you pass, so you take
15 total.
7.
So,
7 points of damage.
10 for radius sphere. Yeah, I'd be right there.
Okay.
I was just making sure I didn't hit Warwick. Actually, I was making sure that I did, if I did.
You
Anyways.
didn't care.
All right. That is the end. Actually,
Lulu is going to use, now that that's happened, Lulu is going to use her held action. And she is going to blast. Yep, you're going to blast here, which will hit, just hit these two. So a shower of sparkles and radiant energy from the trumpet. The two fiends recoil with a 14.
So Lulu sneezed a rainbow.
Double nat ones for the other guy. Wow. And Burlock, the energy passes over you and doesn't affect you in the slightest. But these two fiends either side of you recoil and start to burn from the radiant energy. 3, 5, 7, 14, 19 points of damage to the both of them. Except for the top one who saves. So that is 19 halved, 8 points of damage. 19 points of damage. And now you get a good look at them. They look to be quite they look like they've taken these hits and they've been taking them in their stride. The ones that have been hitting. So that was your action. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I think I'm done. I don't have any bonus actions, I believe. No, I don't.
Okay.
Not everyone's too far.
Okay. This one down below snarls and looks up towards you, and he grins as his form shimmers, and suddenly there are 3 copies of him standing on either side, and he twirls his axe and steps towards you, grinning.
Can I take a sentinel action on movement?
And that's going to end his turn. Lulu is going to fly up here. Make an opportunity attack.
Did I get
Which will
Did I get a chance to
miss.
opportunity attack? Since he moved out of my range.
You did, yes, you did. So
And
roll a
me.
hit.
Yeah.
Yep, you both will have got an opportunity attack.
Okay. Yep, we can see now. So that will be a.
On the upside, I've got really bright light coming from my halberd.
So it'll be the great sword. Hopefully hit.
Oops, it's no longer a disadvantage, but sorry.
7. No.
The 18 will hit. However, I need you to roll a d20.
Okay, this is never good. Oh, it's the phase, yeah, sure.
That is a 14. Let me just double check the spell. Image. So duplicate 6. Yeah, so you roll and you strike down, and your halberd passes through an image of this creature, which dissipates and vanishes.
Oh.
Now there are 2.
I
Burlock.
killed one!
I already rolled. I got 1, so.
Yeah, nat 1, and it's not severe. Lulu's go. She's going to try and she's going to sparkle trumpet again, which again does not affect you in the slightest, Burlock. So that is fail for the first and a fail for the second. They both take 28 points of damage. Woof. And now, Reservoir, it is your turn. Back up here, because she's scared.
Mike. Del muted.
You're muted, Del.
Sorry. Keep doing that tonight. This is a bit redundant as of now, but Reservoir is still going to shout out. They're mages. They can go invisible. A couple of useful things to know now, right? And then I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can I get in? I'm gonna get into the square, I think.
Okay.
How? I'm trying to see how far away are they? Oh, I'm actually gonna get up here. Gotta get a little bit closer. Not lightning bolt, but I'm going to acid stream.
Hey.
So I will do that. And I'm gonna cast it at 2nd level.
Okay.
So they have to
Alright.
make a dexterity saving throw.
They don't even bother. The acid flies through them, strikes against their skin, and just fizzles there. They do not appear to affect them at all.
Cool.
Like the fireball.
I'm gonna hate my life. Reservoir's been doing that a lot lately, but it's gonna hurt in the heart. That'll be my turn.
This one's going to step forward. Nice try, puppet. It's going to grab you. Make athletics or acrobatics check. Even that, no, it rolled really high. Grabs you and picks you up off the ground, and then it's just going to slam you into a wall. With a 28 to hit. You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage as you are picked up and just thrown against the wall here. You are chucked and smacked into this wall, and you fall prone on the ground. That's going to end its turn. Warwick, it's your go.
Let's move over here and let's try to flank. And just try to hit as hard as I can, as much as I can. Now I can finally see.
Yeah.
Let's go. First attack. Also with advantage.
20 will hit.
I'll leave it at that. Smite.
Okay.
Is it a fiend?
It
Seeing it's...
It is indeed.
Okay. It's not a devil or demon. It's the middle one. No crit. Submit.
$27 points of damage. You bellows out in pain. It's now looking pretty rough. You'll regret that, little man.
I regret a lot of things in my life. That's nothing. As I do it again.
25 will hit.
I can't smite twice in a turn, can I?
Nothing says you can't.
Except for how many slots I've got.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll smite again. Stuff it.
Yeah, that will hurt a lot. This thing is looking super bad right now.
Alright, let's try it for the third shot. So third one is the butt strike.
.22 will hit. With that, how do you want to kill this thing?
Just more the push over. Like the nonchalance, like the hit it, then just topple it over backwards.
You slash once at one leg, second time at the other. The radiant energy bursting through and coursing up this thing's body, and you spin the helmet around and just boom, bump it in the head, and falls backwards on the ground before just fading to ash and vanishing.
Now, do you want to walk away, calling out to the other one, or do you want to join? We'll leave it in.
That ends your turn.
Yep.
Ava, that's your go.
I'm gonna. Which way is the demon grinder facing?
It's facing the entrance. The way you came in was up here, so it's currently facing up.
Oh, it's facing up.
Because I feel you would have turned it around so you could make a quick getaway if needed.
Well, you're going to get into it and drive straight through and drive.
Maybe.
I would have. I don't have any soul cones though.
Okay, I guess I'll do this the old-fashioned way. Yeah. Oh, it's so slow to move, my token. And I'm just gonna go ham, flurry of blows.
Okay. Roll them bones. 18 will just hit.
Oh, why am I... Hang on, I left disadvantage on. Oh, shouldn't it be advantage? Because I'm flanking?
Yes, because you are flanking. Ash. So 21 and a 28. Both
That's
hit.
a natural
critical.
20.
That's a natural 20.
The 28.
Roll another d6.
Also, remember, he has mirror image still.
Oh, yes, that's a good point. So, I would like, for the first strike, I would like you to roll a d20.
Okay.
Please miss.
D20 for the first one. Ooh.
You said miss.
Natural
It's actually
1.
good.
You, with the first one, you hit through and you smack the actual creature straight in the small of the back. He grunts in pain. Roll another d20 for your second attack. A natural 2. And the crit hits him as well. So focusing in, you kind of narrow your gaze and you can see the slight shimmering etherealness of the images, and you focus in on the real one and you poof, crack right in the spine. You hear the sound of bones popping. So 11 plus another d6, which 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Still, this thing's looking rough now. Flurry of blows. A 15 will miss.
Oh, I got cocky.
This time, expecting it. An 18 will hit, but I need you to roll a d20. Wow, you're rolling really good. that hits him as well. And you strike, boof, boof.
Well, my
One
luck
misses
came
go
back.
wide as he spins around, almost batting you away, but you take that opening to strike him right in the armpit.
When I pulled out Lulu, I got all my luck back.
Emotional support Hollyflint, everybody.
Bullock, it's your turn.
Well, now I can see I'm going to run... No, sorry. I'm going to move to here. Reckless attacks for this one.
All right.
So advantage and with the greatsword. First attack.
25 will definitely hit. 12 points of damage.
And again.
Not to be a stick in the mud, but the mirror image.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yep. A roll of d20.
Yeah, I
Get a
also
four.
didn't want to be a stick.
No,
but
be the
unfortunate.
stick.
Yeah, unfortunately, you swing and it passes through one of the images, which dissipates into nothingness. For the second
Fair enough.
strike, roll another d20.
Yeah, 3
That's
or
the
4.
last one left.
That's
is
the
it
last
not?
mirror images.
There are now 2 images of him, so I'd like you to roll a d20 for the last image. Really, I should be rolling this, but whatever.
Mm.
Wasn't another one already destroyed?
Yeah, one was destroyed when he moved. Oh, 3. Okay.
I destroyed one.
Ava destroyed one, and
You
now
destroyed
there's one left.
I didn't destroy one. Belloc just destroyed one.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Yes, you did. Sorry. So that last one does hit. So your first strike passes through the last image, which vanishes in a puff of mist. And then your second strike swings back and cuts into the real thing.
So
So
we're not
that
going
is
up.
9 points.
No.
9 points of damage. Yep, sorry, that's
We
my
just
bad.
know that there's a lot of stuff you're tracking.
Yeah.
And so, yes,
And that's my turn.
that's your action. All right. Ash, it's your turn.
Okay, seeing that he walked up straight towards me, I am going to walk around him. I'm going to go 1, a 2. Hold on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 feet, 10 feet. I'm going to disengage.
Okay.
I'm going to go over here. So 1, 2, 3, right here. I'm going to activate my cannon. I think someone got hit. I'm not sure if either of you got hit, but protector.
Oh, yeah, I got hit.
Yeah, so 9 temporary hit points
Yay!
as a bonus action, and then I'm going to, as a free action, just flip him the bird, and that's it. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Everyone add 9 temporary HP. This
You're
guy, he
antagonizing.
is looking beaten and bloody, and he looks around you and he's like, right, it wasn't be done, do it yourself. And suddenly, once again, you are plunged into darkness.
Oh boy.
What an asshole!
And you hear the beating of wings, and a sound landing around here
Where?
in the darkness around here.
Okay.
Next to me.
Lulu's turn, and she's like, oh no, I don't want to hit anyone else. Reservoir, it's your turn. The darkness has just appeared right next to you, blocking off your vision from the rest of this little enclosed X tower.
Yeah, I don't want to risk getting anyone else either. I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. And I am going to hold my action to cast acid splash. Or no, because it doesn't do the. Fuck. I'm gonna heal up again. I'm just gonna do one.
Okay.
Because if I get hit again, I'm gonna die. Oh.
Okay. Warwick, you once again find yourself plunged into darkness.
But the sound was that way to me, so I'm going to try to go towards, and maybe one more if I can.
You bash into something.
Okay,
You end up
so I'll
there.
go back there.
There you're standing on a wall. So you try and go that way, you hit a wall and tumble over.
Okay.
Have to end up there.
Okay. Get myself up and move in that direction, I think. Or
Nope.
still-
You are
no,
blocked
still
from
that
going
way.
there.
That way then.
Blocked.
Oh, oh, that's right.
You're trying to run forward and you keep smacking into
Yeah.
something, so
That way.
you can go there.
Sorry, viewers. I'm in a cloud of blackness.
I know.
So,
The darkness spell.
If there was a wall, there's a wall above me now as well, from memory. This is just all bad. I'll go here if I can, and then defensive posture.
Okay, you take the dodge
Yeah.
action. Bring any incoming impact. Ava, it's your turn.
I'm
Can't
also
see
going
shit.
to attempt to go this way. Do I run into a wall here?
You will run into a wall about here, yes.
Okay.
You smack into something soft
Can
and
you
fleshy.
move me? Soft and
right.
fleshy?
Yep. Well, more like leathery and fleshy. You bump into what you can assume is the creature.
A wall of not very nice.
It's like, okay, I found him! I'm just gonna attack.
That also might be me. Because
Leathery,
Yeah, but
not,
you're-
Are you
not,
leathery?
not drunk.
No.
Is he wearing
But-
leather armor?
but that arrow is pretty much going next to into my location as well.
I feel like running into you and running into the creature would be two very different experiences.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I smell probably worse.
I can probably tell where you are based on your smell. I left advantage on. Dang it.
Well, an 11 will not hit.
Oops, I hit it twice. Ignore
12
the-
will not. None of those strikes will hit. Rush forward and you start swinging wildly, but your fists hit nothing.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
look.
I need something to hit.
I need something to hit. I just want to say,
Unless Ave, would you like you have a bonus action you'd like to use?
Can I try and move around like this way?
Okay.
I want to see if I can get out of the darkness.
And with
Aw.
a 15, you get lucky.
Oh.
With advantage, you hear the slamming of something heavy hitting the dirt behind you.
Oh.
Which would have been right beside me.
See, I moved
Yeah.
15, 20, 30. Oh my god, where did it center this? Oh, I'm out! Or am I got somewhere I'm not supposed to?
You find your way out of the darkness. A
Right.
hemispherical ball of sheer black right in front of you as you dash out.
Okay, I could see. That's good news.
Mm.
Oh, there's Lulu. Okay.
that's Lulu.
Okay, that's my turn. I just wanted to get out.
Okay. Ash, it's your
Yeah.
turn.
Burlock's turn.
Well,
Like,
I keep
found
doing
the
that,
edge of
sorry.
the
Yeah.
darkness.
That's all right.
Burlock.
I want to do something absolutely stupid.
All
Can I
right.
yell an infernal?
Do
A
it.
like your mother was celestial.
Yeah, you want to insult him in Infernal?
Insult him in infernal.
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
You all
hopefully,
hear
if
you all hear in the darkness, coming from not a familiar voice.
I edged that. I thought it was a unicorn.
Oh, you speak Infernal as well, do you? Pigeon. Take one step forward,
Just the swears.
trying to figure out where he is.
It helps in interrogation.
Take a step
swearing at
forward.
people and-
Take another step forward, trying to find out if he is back here now. Do I
Nope,
run into
you
anyone?
bump into him at that point.
Okay, cool. Okay, bump him at that point. And with that, with reckless attack again, with the greatsword. So I'll be with normal because that's that one.
Okay, so straight roll. 14 will not hit.
I am horrible today. And then I hit.
26 will hit for 15 points of damage.
Concentration.
All right. Yep. So 15. That is a DC 10. She passes.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Ash, it's now your turn.
Oh yeah, I disengage and I'm backing up. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I found light. 3.
Found the edge of the.
Yep, found light. So the disengage, and I'm going to 1, 2, 3. I don't know which way I want to move is the problem. I know that most of our teammates are on the other side. So 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna move towards over here instead. So right here, 1, 2, 3. So I can have the grinder in view. Go to see reservoir in the distance.
Okay.
It's the end of my turn.
All right. Okay. On its turn. Natural 20. Ava, I would like you to make a acrobatics or athletics check as a hand reaches out of the darkness and it grabs hold of you. In fact, because it rolled a natural 20, I would like you to make it with disadvantage.
Yay! Acrobatics.
No. You feel a hand grab hold of you, and then suddenly you are both 60 feet in the air. And it's holding you there. Where you think you're going, puppet? And it starts to fly away.
Oh no no
Ava.
no no no
No, 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 no,
no 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 no.
no, 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 no.
Oh no!
It's Lulu's turn. Lulu is going to, you leave her alone! And she's going to fly up after you. And her last blast is going to go straight. It is going to pass its con save. So this will be half damage. Wow. That's high damage. 30 points of damage, half to 15, but it's still barely alive.
Concentration.
Again, Ava, this energy washes over you and it burns, fiercely burns the creature behind you, but you are entirely unaffected. Reservoir, you see this. You now see this creature 90 feet or so in the air, holding... It teleported 60 feet up and used the rest of its 60-foot fly speed to keep going.
Wait. Fuck.
As an
how far-
action, it can attack and then teleport. That's what it did.
So how far away is it from
So
me?
it is currently in the air above you.
Sounds like
Is it-
120.
Is it within 60 feet of me though?
It is not.
No.
It is 90 feet away from you.
And I'm sorry, what does it have to be that I can
Oh, con
see?
save.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Con
Yeah,
save.
concentration.
Cocked. Passes.
Damn. I just
The
want to give.
darkness
Just
remains.
want to give like some images to.
I'm
the
gonna say
viewers.
I'm just gonna put these guys here, just so for visual reference for those who can see it, which is Reservoir.
Would I be able to run with 30 feet of speed to somewhere where Ava
No,
would be within 60
they are
feet?
90 feet up.
Oh, fuck. Hmm. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to. Oh, okay. I'm just. I will. I will Tides of Chaos, Chromatic Orb at 2nd level, with.
Okay.
Hopefully this works. With cold damage.
Okay. Roll a hit.
And
Just a straight roll.
even with Tides of Chaos giving me advantage.
You may roll Tides of Chaos.
Okay.
So you may roll with advantage.
All right. Cast a 2nd level.
Unfortunately, I don't have slow fall yet.
I know. Well, if you were within 60 feet, I was gonna polymorph you into a bird, but you're too far away. Oh god, and that doesn't hit.
11 will not hit. However. Okay.
I rolled it
Yeah.
was a 2.
So, you watch as a bolt of energy fires out from Reservoir. It goes wide, and Reservoir just starts to glow with this bright, almost blinding, radiant energy. Just an absolute beacon of glow in this dark space. Warwick, it's your turn.
I still can't see anything.
Warwick doesn't. Oh no.
I don't know. I can't see a thing. And no one's mentioned anything either.
Yeah, you don't know what the hell's going on.
No.
You just heard this thing walk away, heard the squeal of Ava being, I don't know, either hit or grabbed, and then you heard a sort of a popping teleporty sound. That's
Probably
about it.
Also would have heard Lulu.
You would have heard yelling from up high. I would say
Okay.
you would know that.
Let's start trying to get out of here, and we'll see what we can find. Well, I can see, kind of. I don't know where they are, but I'm out of the darkness with 4 movement. Can I see them above?
You can. I'll say for the purposes of this, I'll just remove. At this point, it's getting in the way, and they're above the darkness, so you know it won't. Once Burlock X's it, won't come into play anymore. So I'm just going to remove it.
Yeah. I yell out to Burlock that it's taken Ava up high. Get out of there so you can see. And bow out. Try to shoot. Looks like.
All right. Pull out your bow, dropping your halberd to the ground, which clatters. You quickly and swiftly pull out and knock in the same movement, and
Been a while. Here we go. I do have silvered arrows for this,
6 will
and that's
miss.
what I'm using.
The first one goes wide. Pull
Second
another
one.
arrow, knock it back, goes wide. You are rusty. You've not fired a bow in a while.
Action
Both
surge.
attacks, swing pass, action surge. You can roll twice more.
I'll spare these there, yeah.
No.
Roll better. Shit.
With 4, the speed is surprisingly quick, but the accuracy is just not there. As you 4 arrows, but this thing just away blocks another one with its halberd, and you're almost trying not to hit Ava, which is partly the reason why you're completely wide. Ava, you are 90 feet above the ground, being carried off to God knows where. It is. What do you want to do?
I don't think there's anything I can do. Like, if I try and break free, I'm gonna fall 90 feet. That'll kill me.
Would you fall all 90 feet at once?
Yes!
I don't know how fast people fall.
It's very fast.
It's 1 round.
Damn.
Time's are ticking. What would you like to do?
Honestly, I can't do anything. Because if I do, I'm gonna fall and die. So all I can do is kind of like try and find a place that's higher and hope that he flies over it.
Alright, you just let yourself get carried off.
I can't do anything.
You could do a lot of things. You're choosing to do nothing.
I can't do anything.
The Three Stooges.
Die.
Burlock, it's your turn.
I'll probably
In darkness.
yeah,
but
I'll probably run to about here.
At that point, you are out the darkness, and you can see them up above now.
Okay. I have 1 javelin left. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna try.
Okay.
2 javelin with advantage, with reckless.
Reckless attack is melee attacks.
Is it only melee? Oh well.
I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check, because this could be important. Reckless attack. When you make a turn,
Melee attack.
melee weapon attack rolls.
Alright. Oh well. Doesn't change what I'm gonna do. Javelin.
17. Will just miss. It's close, but this thing bats the javelin out the way, and it clatters to the ground next to the war machine.
That's a bonus action. I'll try another insulting infernal. Says, can't handle some of your own size. You punsy wunce.
Yeah, you hear
Just trying
these
to delay it.
guttural insults hurled from Burlock's mouth. Ash, it's your turn.
Okay, alrighty, so I know what my action is gonna be. I have a question. If I climb on top of the demon grinder, am I within 60 feet? Is it
I will
that
say
tall?
I will say yes.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go my full movement onto the top of the demon grinder. Bam. I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray at 2nd level.
Okay.
So I'm gonna aim for it. Scorching Ray. 3 Scorching Rays. I would like to ask, who has the chat dice, by the way? Because I don't know who has it anymore.
We used it yesterday. We
Ah,
used it, sorry,
crap.
last.
No. Oh, it's at disadvantage.
15 will miss.
No.
11 will miss.
Oh, fuck.
Wait.
25.
25 will hit.
Wait.
9.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, thank God. I would like to Scorching Ray and just the first 2 that miss, I'm doing my best. My hands are shaking and I'm just whoosh and it misses and then whoosh and it misses. And the last one, I look over and I try to aim for a wing, or rather just straight to the chest. And I just, as if I'm throwing a javelin, I just straight through its chest.
Yeah. This thing's looking at you, Ava, and as it's flying, it says, "I know a certain angel who'd love to." and then it just starts to turn to ash. Ava,
she
you start
starts
to fall.
Can I use my reaction to cast Featherfall?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I cast Featherfall.
You start to fall, and as you do, you start to scream, but then the slow is halted. You start to drift down, ever so slowly, before finally touching ground. And after, suddenly, a quiet comes over the desolate town. As a bag falls next to you, a couple of coins rolling out.
Reservoir, I like the new spell. There's a couple of flaws to it, though.
That's
It
where we'll
can
end
be
today's
dispelled.
session.
Hey. Alrighty.
Okay, so that was bad.
Well, welcome back to Avernus.
Welcome back,
That
everyone.
could've gone better.
Oh my god.
I was just like, okay,
Dice rolls.
Yeah, these dice rolls are rough.
That was rough. That was
Can,
rough.
can we just send all these digital dice to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was fun. We'll be back next week with, I believe, Smuggler's Run. Emmy's not going to be here, which, if we will continue on with this, that could have actually worked, but that's still, yeah, thank you for not dying. It's great.
Thank you for not
I feel like
dying.
I'm gonna cry.
I didn't have a backup for if I actually did shoot you out the air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't have a
like, I
backup there at all.
can't do anything if I
Yeah.
fall, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I was going to say, try to use the fiend as a...
I will say,
But they disappear.
with currently 96 is a very survivable amount of fall damage.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. As long as you have more than 40.
It's a lot. You would be unconscious, but I doubt very much you'd be dead.
I did also think we could possibly harpoon them and drag him back in. We do
That
have
is also
harpoons.
true. That is also true.
But anyway, we'll be back next week with Smuggler's Run with our Starfinder. Well, we've got a practice roll of 36 damage from 9d6.
You wouldn't even have gone unconscious.
Survivable.
We would have healed you immediately.
I just.
An Ava-shaped crater in the floor.
Yeah, it'd still be bad.
That was
let's do it.
terrifying.
Very, 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 yes.
I aim to please.
And this is why Smuggler's Run is very much not that dark and dangerous. Or it's dangerous, but not that dark. Will, would you like to do your outro, please?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Hi, everybody. I'm Will. I've been playing Ash the Fire Genasi Artificer, and today was stressful. I'm very, very glad that Ava is alive for now. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode. Join us for next week for Starfinder, and the week after we'll be back to Saints and Sinners as well. Both shows are fantastic. Join us, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, leave a like, and also, I think that's it.
Hit that fucking bell.
Hit that bell.
No?
Hi everyone, I'm Del. I've been playing Reservoir, your Water Genasi Sorcerer. That was stressful. Join us next week for something less stressful. And then the week after for something probably just as stressful. It's a roller coaster here. Those are fun, right?
Maybe. I'm not. No. No.
Everyone's alive, which is what matters on a roller coaster.
No decapitations. No one went flying off.
Someone almost went flying off. That's
No one stayed flying off.
Flying is the problem. Landing, that's the problem.
Something along those lines, yes. MLP?
I'm Miss Our Producer. I've been playing Burlock Ungar, your dwarven barbarian ranger who saw his friend almost get flied off and then be given to a certain angel, which is going to be interesting for next week. You can usually catch me on twitch.tv/backslash Producer, where I mostly do VR content and video production work. Trying to work out my schedule and all that stuff, but yay, schedules. Emmy?
Working.
Hi, I'm Emmy Rabbit, but you guys can call me Emmy. I play Ava the Human Monk, and I nearly got carried away.
By the flying monkeys.
I am moonlight.
I want to know
shadow,
more
shadow.
about this angel, but you know, I want to know what's going on, because
Same.
that was also like they tried to grab me earlier in the combat as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
it wasn't anyone else. It was you.
They were coming after me,
Yep.
and I
You got
don't know
them.
why.
You know what it looks like. You had the vision.
Yeah.
You touched the puzzle box.
You opened Pandora's box.
I didn't open Pandora's box. It gave me a headache and made me pass out. Remember?
True, that's right. It almost killed.
That was a
almost
that was
killed
a
you too.
while ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
No, that was from the helmet.
Again, a
Yeah.
long
No,
time
but
ago.
also the Pandora's box. You also tried to do
Yeah.
that one, didn't you?
The one in Baldur's
Oh,
Gate where
that
you're like,
one.
I'm gonna open this, and it's just like, oh yeah, fuck tons of psychic damage.
You're dead.
Maybe let's not open weird things or put them on our heads.
Oh, okay. Lorian.
I have been your evil GM, Lorian Ross. I'm glad to be back into this, and what can I say except welcome back to Avernus. I've been hoping to run some more interesting and challenging combats, which is not just hit lots of things until they die. There's different stakes now. And congratulations, you beat 2 CR9 creatures today.
Wow.
So,
Congratulations.
Are they the same level as Pit Fiend?
We could not get their blood.
Cannot. They turned to ash.
I know. Maybe I've dropped blood?
So yeah, I do music. I got a couple songs out on streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. Find Your Light and Lift Off. Go listen to them. I'm very proud of them. And I'm hopefully going to be working on some more stuff in the near future. In the meantime, stay tuned. I'll be back in a couple of weeks for the next episode of Saints and Sinners.
Cool.
And yeah, see you then.
And I'm totally going to pick your brain about the darkness, because I've been trying to get it to work for ages, and I just gave up ages ago.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week. Thanks for everybody for coming in. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow as well with our TRPG book club, where I'm going to look at Runecrest, which is a Chaosism game, their version of a fantasy game, which is based off their basic role-playing system. So from my cursory glances, it looks great. I enjoy the BRP system anyway, so it may be a good alternative if you're looking to homebrew stuff. So, but other than that, audio's been from Syrinscape, so check them out because they're great. And I think that's about it. So it's a bye from now. We'll find someone to raid when we do the credits roll.
Bye-bye.
I'm still stressed.
Bye.
See you later.